Well, I mean, I can. I'm here to give hands. Virtually.
This is a family-friendly show.
You know, it works. It works. We have made it to the great 100 TokuTonic. Which obviously, for those that are joining in out of the loop, this is something that we said we would do months ago once we got to this point. And we have made it to this point. Oh, my hands can't. No. Oh.
It's not looking better. You're like when Edward Scissorhands got those fake hands. You're just like, huh? What are these?
It's just like, what do I do with these? It's like, do I Genki Dama? Do I raise the roof? Can I go to the sides? I cannot go to the sides. No. Well,
so we like the chick from The Grudge. It's disturbing.
Well, I mean, this is gonna be weird because obviously I've always got my drink on hand. You can't see it, but when I slurp it, it's just. Meanwhile, I don't know where the resident VTuber is this evening.
I messaged him on Discord. He's on.
Like, I was just like, I'm going to be here 20 minutes late. And I'm like, we
were 20 minutes late because I was trying to figure this out.
40 minutes late.
Yeah. Indeed.
So I don't know. I don't know where this man is. I just don't know where he is at all. Anyway, welcome to TokuTonic Shift number 100. Where it's somewhat of a slow news week in general. So
could we be lazy and just watch the first ever episode of TokuTonic Shift and just do like Mystery Science Theater commentary on it?
Oh my god. That would really be stress testing things just to see how awkward that first one was before I spent the money for Talk Studio on a yearly basis to have this output and, you know, support up to 16 guests that I never got.
We got close. We had 4. We had 5 at one point.
Yeah, that's about it. Never been able to actually put a full-on limit on this. We'll see. I honestly, since I deleted social media and all that stuff, I don't even keep track on like the toku tubing scene outside of like the bigger ones that people mostly talk about. So I really don't know any of the newer folks. And the algorithm's not been even recommending me any of the newer folks anymore. Like it used to like a year or so ago.
That's all that's showing up. Like I have to search for you and Ash now. I have to click on your names in my subscription tab because I'm actually getting like a whole slew of just new Toku tubers popping up on my algorithm. I think it's because I have 2 accounts. Like, well, I have multiple burners, but like I have 2 that I'm always actively on, and the one that's signed in on my TV is like my personal one. There's no videos, and it's just all new Toku tubers and shit on that one. This one, it's a lot of grifter content that shows up on my main one. I don't know why, but it just does.
Like I mostly just see the reactions to like first like the intros and shit like that, and I'm just like don't recommend me these. Like, I don't like those. So
if you hit don't recommend, it won't take that type. It'll actually start just not recommending Toku in general. Like if it's someone reacting to Power Ranger intros and you hit don't recommend, it actually just starts taking all Power Ranger related stuff out of your algorithm.
Well, the vast majority of just what gets sent to me shouldn't just be reactionary content, because that's like the low hanging fruit.
I don't even
like I literally spent all of my day today and most of it yesterday just working on Goja stuff, which I know some people have been asking. It's just like, look, I worked on it. I filmed everything yesterday. It took over 6 hours and over 8 costume changes. And then I started editing yesterday, the openings for the videos. That got done. Then I started working on another segment within the video itself. And that took until like 6 p.m. today for me to get it done. I showed it to Mark like right before, just so he could see how much work went into that. And then I got like 2 more bits that I have to work on before I actually get to the review itself.
All right. I'm not gonna lie, like the more I like get at least decently better with my editing, or well, not better, just less lazy, the more like I'm starting to not hate AI anymore. Like I don't like AI art, but like if AI can edit shit for me, like I'm kind of okay with it, you know?
Oh, I'm fine with AI being a tool for editing, because like I'm terrible with like cropping stuff around it with Photoshop or Magic Wanding it.
Yeah, that's the one thing that I really give AI a lot of credit for, because I would be one of those guys that when I'm trying to eliminate someone from the background, I had to put in a lot of work doing layer masks and a lot of different things just to make the background look like that person wasn't even there. But now it's literally just highlight and then remove, and then they're gone. And I'm like, great, that saves me hours.
Oh yeah. No, absolutely. Like one of my my comic reviews where I've got the single image like next to the side. A lot of those images are like me grabbing the panel and then just it singles out what it needs to single out, and then I'll fix it up and touch it up with like the program.
So easy.
Like I know some people were asking me like the first time that I like debuted this overlay that I've got. How did I eliminate the person from your AI?
Yeah.
That's literally how I eliminated the AI and some tweaking, because it didn't come out correctly. So, you know, AI still has its hiccups, so you still have to tweak it. You still have to know some editing to fix some shit. Because it originally had like, the upper headboard here as like 2 separate pieces, and I was like, no, that ain't right. Let's put that together. So
the hands are just freaking sending me right now. It's freaking hilarious. You look like if you put your character in a box, you're Jambi from Pee-wee's Playhouse, basically.
Hey, Jambi,
like the little hand.
Look, I'm here to give you the news directly to you. Directly.
Can you like slam on the console of the Tegasword with your hands?
I don't. No, it's not a Terrifier hoodie. I wish it was. Actually, it is.
All right, so let's get to introductions. Mark, introduce us to your VTuber, your V-Sona, whatever the fuck they call these things.
Yeah. So I'm a grown adult, so this is just a VTuber model for myself. Like, there's no so whatever the hell, like I'm not like this is what I feel like making.
You
honestly.
promised us borderline not safe for work VTuber,
and I did not want to ruin your TOS.
We could have put censoration black bars on the thing. I could have changed Bouquet to be a black bar and then just put it over there.
Bars. You didn't have enough bars.
We could have done that one, Twitch meta that we had like couple years back of just the borderline. Just the borderline.
All right.
The green screen on the panties.
In a second. I may load it up in a secondary instance on my computer and maybe just have it pop in before the end, because like it's bad. I set the voice changer for it. If you thought Emma Frost's new alt costume in Marvel Rivals was bad.
Oh fuck. That is something. Hello, new skin. Yeah. Hello, new.
All right. Well. Well, I mean, it's another blonde-haired white woman with a blue and white fit. So, yeah,
that's all I care about. They know my demographic.
So, Ash, explain your VTuber to us?
So I used the program you guys recommended, and all the basic outfits were garbage. and I don't know how
Correct.
to make outfits like you. And
I made this in 30
Cloud.
minutes. I literally just made this 30 minutes before making the thumbnail for this thing.
No, you were telling me.
Drop his hand.
Like, I kind of wanted to try and make my own Power Rangers outfit, but I typed in like Power Rangers VTuber outfits because you know, like when you download a skin in Minecraft, you just like get the box and then it's the skin. All right, I'm too old for that, but yeah.
I know, man. I know that.
Audience. Yeah. I thought it'd be like that, but then it was like, oh, you pay like $3 for the skin that I like find, and then all I had to do was like clean it up in like the VTuber model. But yeah, it's me as a Power Ranger and a VTuber. I might make this a regular thing just to see what happens and pay for the hands.
I mean, hey, if it helps your viewership on your channel, you can just introduce that. Though he looks uncannily like what's his name from Digimon season 2?
Yeah, no,
Cody.
Yeah, Cody. I was gonna say, if you played Digimon Story Cyber Slew, there's like a flashback in the game, like kids, and like that's where it was when he had the black background. He couldn't get the background to load. I was like, why does this look familiar? That's what it was, because I put 400 hours on that game.
Nice.
I'm gonna mute my mic. Somebody eats pizza, and my VTuber looks silly when I eat.
Since I spent like so much time just editing today, I was like, crap, I gotta do something with my VTuber model. I don't want to be the same thing that I just had for my reviews. So I was like, originally I was thinking, let me put the Tegastord outfit on it, but I didn't know how to do it until I messed around with Ninja Kiva for that other review. So I was like, all right, let me try doing this. And yeah, I put this together in like 30 minutes. Yeah.
So what did you grab? So what did you grab? You just like animated the actual Tegastord outfit into like a thing?
So what I exported one of the textures for the VTuber model, loaded that into Photoshop, and then I loaded in a screenshot that from the show that I just essentially traced on Photoshop, and then just went ahead and filled in the colors and all that stuff, and made sure I at least added in some depth to the colors, so they wouldn't just be flat colors. Because if the gold was just yellow, that would be like terrible. So I was like, nah, let me add a little bit of an emboss on here, so it looks all right. So just had to do it. Had to fit the motif. If I'm in the Tegastord, I gotta be rocking the Tegastord fit, and I'm rocking the Tegastord fit. All right. So with that being said, what went on this week? We got any major news?
Tariffs and hey,
Power
does this
Rangers
look like Toku
Power Rangers Tegaforce premiered in this week's episode of Goja.
I mean, it did have that ending that was pretty nice. We'll see how that goes into the actual episode on there.
But
that cloak on it.
Yes, that was actually pretty nice. I did like that.
But Carl, I know you're not on Twitter anymore, Zio, but the English Global Kamen Rider Twitter page made their return or debut.
So that is essentially the big theme of the night that I did want to talk about. But I guess first, people do want us to talk a little bit about the episodes that did happen during superhero time.
Gojuju was good. Gav was good. End of story.
Yes, it was the end of an arc, and we didn't get a poster for the next arc. So I'm like, what? Okay.
We'll probably get it this week, I'm guessing.
Maybe. I mean, definitely, Gav has been picking up these last 2 episodes. Definitely found a good way to end the arc, though. I did not expect them to kill off Suga like they did. I kind of thought that he was gonna stay around a little bit and just become a little bit of a background character.
The baby is him. He made himself so he's K. Well, the accelerated growth hormones, it'll be him again.
Yeah, well, that could be a thing. A younger version of him would be odd, but I do think that it's him trying to essentially bring back his kid that we got the little tease of, that he was a father and, just, I guess, ended up losing his family. So that was like the bittersweet moment that we got within all that in there, plus some fabulous acting from the characters per the usual.
acting's been on point this season. In general.
Oh, I mean, yeah, in general, yes, but especially now that we got Shoma out the fucking slump.
Yes, about time.
Because that was the biggest thing. I was just like, man, about time they finally got this man off of his mental block. So
yeah, all it took was a frap with your friends.
Yeah, just frapping off your friends,
and you feel better.
Yeah.
Get your friend frapping with friends.
Yep, just share the frappe. All of it.
Just
they're frothy,
chocolate, vanilla, swirl, doesn't matter. Just frap it and spin it.
Mm-hmm. Good way to make it work. Good way to make it work. However, I mean,
really the VTuber stuff.
Your model's just like neck snapping. No, so next episode, honestly, it's the teaser that kind of confused me because it's like we got Jipu back. He's engaged. Random chick we get introduced to, which just before some of the adults in the audience start thinking they can thirst.
Nope, 15.
Yeah. Yeah, I know when the preview came up, there were already people in the chat going like, watch y'all, watch out. We know how y'all are. You're like quick to react and not do the research before you react. You got to do some research.
Always do the research.
We don't want another Bebera incident as well.
Nope.
That's the
really? People like she's has like one of those faces where it's just like, dude, she got super
description.
She just had bags like under her eyes. Like when they did the zoom ins, I was just like, "What's going on here?" Like, something's wrong. Man, your avatar is acting up. Acting up. No. I'm talking about like Baraba last year.
Yeah, Baraba. Yeah.
Or rather, the year before. God, it's already been that long. God.
Yeah, it's been
so long. So long ago.
Not long enough.
Yeah.
So yeah, now that I guess Jipu's coming back, and he doesn't seem like the weird twisted Demented soul that I thought he was gonna be. How do we feel about how they're like? What's your assumptions based off what we've seen from the preview on Jipu's return? Think it's he's putting up a front?
It has to be. Because, like, how do you go from wanting revenge and being that upset to be like, ta-da, I'm engaged, we're gonna get married? It's like, what? Why are you so happy? Like, you literally were on a couch in a, like storage unit, like, unable to, like, function at all, like, going through a whole manic episode and crashing out. We didn't get the full crash out. Hanto had, like, 5 crash outs in the last 3 episodes, and we didn't get one.
It would be weird if, essentially, like, it's going to be one of those storylines where Jipu sees his fiance as not his fiance but as his sister, and that's I know, but I mean, look,
that makes it 10 times worse.
It'd be like that in a lot of Japanese properties. There's usually like they could have been a sister.
Saber. We got that in Saber.
Oh yeah, that's true.
On the show, we don't.
But in this case, technically, it would be better because they're actually not related, but he's just gonna see her as like eventually he's just gonna be like, put on this mimic for me just once, just the one time. Just wear, I got it repaired. Just put it on.
Just put the mimic on and we're gonna have some fraps. It's like, what? It's like, no, I don't like. That's the thing. It's like I wanted like some level of revenge. Like I could see how it's like a front, or like they're just like so broken that it's like they're just on like autopilot. What the hell are you doing with your hands? Like
I'm just fucking around with my hands.
That shit is like that's the VTuber seems to be distracted. I already forgot what I was talking about. Oh god, I shouldn't be high right now. So like I just wanted like. Also from the preview, we could talk about that stuff, but like I feel like we're going back to the Grand New Monster of the Week style again, which I brought up in my review. I hope it's not tonal whiplash, you know what I mean? Like going from this deep stuff going on, now we're gonna go back to like bright colored outdoors, like normal.
Yeah, and it's something that tends to happen every time like an arc ends, is like they start off the next arc kind of like it's a fresh new book, and it's like, bro, what the hell just what happened? Like What y'all doing?
Yeah.
What y'all doing? So,
and I guess also now with like now saying he's like, I'll continue on your research for Suga and this and that. And then Dente finally got to do some science, even though he doesn't know how to fill the gimmicks with pudding or whatever gimmick it's supposed to be. So they're just empty. So I'm like, he's
gotta take it to the toilet.
Yeah. So I was just
you
like,
fill it up one way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just curious now, like, because we have just from a form standpoint, because I was like, I miss the regular Valen helmet. If he's not going back to Valen, because like we now know that like basically him using Shoma's Gochizo is like the limit of his power. So I'm like, well, we're never getting that the Valen form again.
Like, the thing that I'm still a little bit not a fan of is just how conveniently Shoma shot out a Gochizo that conveniently is compatible with the Flam unit.
And it can talk.
Yeah,
I spent a good amount of my review being like,
and it's a 2-in-1.
Like, yeah.
It's a 2-in-1, and then it just conveniently works in that new driver. I'm like, wow, that is really also, like the biggest plot MacGuffin.
I completely forgot like they could put Gochizos in Rom's driver. Like I forgot that those could fit in there because like it wasn't shown in the show at all, but people were saying who bought it, you could do that. And I was like, oh. And like he still was using his like Valen Buster or whatever it's called. And I'm like, oh. I was like, that's cool, I guess. But like
he's just not using it to transform. He's just using it as a weapon.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. And I'm just like, okay, I guess. Like, that's cool. But the form did grow on me though. I remember when we saw the scan stuff, I was kind of like trashing that form. But seeing the henshin and everything else, I was like, and seeing it in action, I was like, you know what? I kind of like the form.
This is my favorite form for Honto. Like that is Valen's best form for me. And those colors definitely just pop.
Yeah. I like the chocolate one still just because of like the white blanks spaces having something on them. But this is definitely like from a upgrade standpoint, this is probably the best form like he's had. But he's only had like 3. Better than
Can I also throw in Shoma did indeed just have caking lying around, pulled it out, and it's just like, bro, where was that when you were just drowning in sorbets? Like, did you just keep just using that form? Like, you could have just pulled out caking.
Well, I assumed caking used. Remember, because earlier on, after the Grota stuff, like it uses so much power, and sorbet I don't think does. It just runs out like because it melts, whereas caking uses his actual like energy. So I just assume that's like 2 different super power-up forms where one has a time limit on it and the other one will just drain you of your energy.
Yeah, I don't think it drained him of his energy that much. It seemed like the majority of the time it was still just his mental like shit that was the thing that was interfering with his stuff.
Because the first 2 times after he used it, he was like super hungry after.
I mean, you wouldn't be super hungry after.
Well, he said, he's like, I guess this one uses a lot more of my power. Because he actually said, I don't know which episode, but he said it after, I think, the first or second time he used the form. And I was like, okay. I was like, it makes sense. Plus, I don't know. I still don't understand how caking works because there's slices on the cake, but he uses the same Gochizo over and over again. And I still think it would have been better if each cake slice would disappear after X amount of uses.
But yeah, I mean, overall, like, show's still obviously good. Yeah. Like we hit the little slump that we predicted we were gonna get into anyway. We got over that hump. It looks like they've reformulated or recalculated, and things are flowing smoothly again. I still think that Bitter Gavu is still the worst thing that they've tossed in there. And apparently they're not done with him yet because obviously there's a form that we've been showing off in these streams that we haven't even gotten in the show yet.
Oh, also, we had a very meta Kamen Rider joke, which I enjoyed when Shoma had the motorcycle come out and Sue was like, oh, no, that's a Kamen Rider. And I'm like, see what you did there. I was like, you dumb son of a bitch.
Meanwhile, I'm watching obviously Toei's Spider-Man on Saturday nights, and that's definitely got some nice bike action.
Who was revealed to be coming back to the comics? Toei Spider-Man.
Yep.
They're bringing him back in Matt Groom and Kai Higgins' run.
That's, well, one is because obviously they were going to do it, but 2, it makes sense because around this time we were supposed to have a certain third Spider-Man animated movie come out, and he was gonna be in it, and like that movie now got pushed back to 2027 because they don't want to conflict with Tom Holland Spider-Man 4 next summer, so we're never getting that fucking animated movie. It's not even, the script's not even done. They went back to the drawing board with the script.
Fuck.
Sidebar. Yeah, I've been doing research. I was going to talk about it on my podcast, but then I got bored.
All right. Well, on the other hand, for Goja this week, like I wasn't expecting them to pull off essentially a whole arc with Tokonatsu, the Prime Minister of Japan. Like really, they just gave him an arc that lasted a couple of episodes, and now I think he's going to be a reoccurring character, even though he's not Don Momo. Because I mean, Horu is his best and only friend, so he got to pop up for the homie. But I did find that dynamic interesting. How I gotta say, he was forced to resign because he was violating the weapons laws. I'm like, man, look at that! A politician actually saying, "Yeah, I broke the law. I'll go ahead and resign." Couldn't be real life. Couldn't be. So that was funny.
I didn't watch this episode. I had a busy week, so I don't know what happened.
And by a busy week, you mean Xenoblade Chronicles?
No, not. I will talk about it off stream, but there's some crazy shit's been going on in San Diego. A certain H land has been making the rounds around San Diego for some reason.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So I've been like 50+ hour work week. Plus, I mean, I'm not gonna lie, you saw me online. I've been playing Xenoblade Chronicles X a little bit. I played for like 3 hours this week. I played for 3 hours. That's about it.
I try to get an hour in when I get home from work. I'm only on chapter 4, but I'm taking my time with it. I'm grinding. I'm fighting everything I see.
I'll play after stream. I need a break from being behind my computer and just being behind the TV. Oh wait, no, this man's rocking a VTuber model. Hey. No, you're not getting in here, Cloudy, with that model. We see you in the waiting rings. What you doing?
These your VTuber models, by the way?
Explain yourself.
Yes.
You were supposed to not be here in a VTuber model.
All right, then I cannot be here.
We told you what your options were.
What were my options? You didn't tell me. You always said you either show up in your face or not.
No, you could. We said you could cover up your face.
I don't.
Technically,
remember, you even asked me for a picture of Mark so you could put a PNG of Mark over yourself.
Oh yeah.
What do you mean? I didn't tell you. I equipped you with the goods.
Yes, you did give me that.
Did you guys decide to use my face? No.
He asked for it.
I was going to do that.
Were you going to pay royalties?
You just forgot. You just completely forgot that.
It was my bad. Also, what am I looking at here? I'm looking at an emo
effort. That's what you're looking at.
Look, Cloudy, at least my hands move.
I don't want my hands to move. There's a reason they're down here.
He has no hands, Zio. You know this.
Yeah, the old good old Takahashi.
I'll sit out this this one.
Nah, too bad you're already here.
Yeah, you're already here. But put a PNG to cover your VTuber head. I don't want to look at it.
Give me like 2 seconds. Where's Mark's face?
Yeah, I want to see that.
You better pay some money. Wait, what screenshot did you take? Do I have a beard or is it beardless Mark? If it's beardless Mark, that's going to cost you triple.
No, it's bearded Mark, I think.
I'm going to charge you per pixel. What's the pixel ratio on it? Per pixel.
I don't know, man.
You know my PayPal. If you don't, it's in my bio.
I know your PayPal.
Good.
Okay.
That'll be half your salary of the year.
No, it's not even close to half my salary of the year.
Fine. 20% off the top, tax-free. Friends and family.
But is it tariff-free?
My language.
Listen, I don't want to hear anything. Like,
we're going to talk about it later.
Don't want to. I'm so depressed about it.
All right, but yes, while he's trying to get a paper bag covering his face or whatever.
I don't know if Goes Usual. It's Goes Usual.
It's still good. Still Goes Usual is good.
Yeah,
I know. I didn't watch the most recent episode, but like, it's very. I don't know how to say. Like, you know, like Boon Boonjo is very like formulaic, kind of serialized. This one seems like that, but it's just like it's a controlled chaos of like if Don Brothers was like it had
plot,
a little more QC, has some QC to it, and some plot, like overall plot, like here and there, and like someone to be like, hey, you're going a little too far. Oh, okay, that's not bad. That's like three. That'll be like $350.
Is there a way you can just move away his mouth, like Photoshop out the mouth and have your VTuber's mouth like overlay it?
I thought of doing that, honestly. I was gonna do that.
I could cut it out. I could cut it out with like a green screen and then like make it an empty thing.
What you could have done is that one photo from episode 3 of Goes Usual, the wall poster of his wife, and then just do the lips.
Oh shit! I could have done that. That would have been.
Well, I was gonna do the old Conan O'Brien one with the mouth. I was gonna do that.
Mark, I'm going to make this into just so you know, this is going to become a PNG tuber. I'm going to use your faces.
That's completely fine. You just got to pay me royalties.
He's already got the folded arms expression down in pen, so he's halfway there.
Exactly.
The angry folded arms expression.
Oh, by the way, can we talk about the disgusting amount of money I've spent recently on toys?
Here now, it's
disgusting amount of money.
That's appropriate.
Wait, hold on. Wait, I forgot. There's another image I have to. Hold on. There's another.
The thing is, my arms are folded just like that right now, but my VTuber is just like, nah.
It's like, nah.
I mean, even for this one, if I try folding my arms, it's just like, what?
Yo, you better stop throwing gang signs like that, man. Like, what?
That shit.
Wait,
I'm just trying to fold my arms, and like, it won't let me.
Jesus.
Where's my image of Sinoni with the handcuffs?
People who know ASL are like, wow, he's really talking shit right now.
Damn.
That's the Hawaiian pizza talking. I can't.
But speaking of Goes Usual, Orb sent me that apparently there was an interview with Akiko, along with another one of the production staff for Goes Usual. Just getting in some backstory on the origin point on where they got to currently. Because apparently originally they wanted to have the person that was working on Boom Jar, I believe, actually head off to do Goes Usual, but they were like, nah. And originally their plan was actually to have Toshiki Inoue work on Goes Usual, but instead, because of Akiko's work in Godchard, they really thought that they should probably give her a shot doing it, just because it's like, hey, like she's out here doing all that stuff. So yeah, they were struggling a little bit in terms of deciding on what to do, but yeah.
I think they honestly went in a great direction. I mean, the few episodes that they have are as close to like another show that is Dom Brothers inspired, but not like fully around. You know what I mean?
Well, so the thing is, Akiko originally when she found out about the new Sentai, she volunteered to see if she could at least work on one episode, just be like another guest writer for it. But then they were like, you know what? How about you just come in and be the main writer? And she was like, what? And they were like, yeah, you just write the whole show. Ooh. So yeah, she apparently was not anticipating being the main writer for the show. So she just wanted to be the guest writer on it. But they do chalk it up to all of her writing credits that she's done in the past that were actually good, because people that know, she wrote the novelization for the Kamen Rider Decade series. So she's worked on stuff before, and obviously like we all know who her dad is and stuff like that.
Do we know who was supposed to be the writer? I'm just curious.
Well, the thing is like they were struggling to find a writer for it, and they were trying to see about getting her dad involved as the head writer for it. as one of the suggestions, but they didn't actually approach him to it. It was just one of the ones that they were suggesting. But then apparently the producer was the same one that apparently recommended her to write the episodes of Gotchard that she did, because originally she wasn't attached. Remember, Gotchard just had the 2 head writers and that was it. And then apparently this producer was the one responsible for bringing Akiko on board just to do a lot of the in-between episodes, or at least to, change up the flavor or dynamic for the episodes that we got. And she actually did produce some of the funniest episodes of Gotchard, even though some were also completely tonal whiplash from what we were doing. But hey, in a bubble, they were actually, good compared to the bulk of the show.
It's true. I agree.
So let's see. For the sake of extra talent, I used to lead the work in the future, which was a little calculating. So yeah. They wanted her to get used to working with special effects type stuff first, since obviously when you're just a novel writer and haven't really worked on these live action shows, it helps doing a couple of episodes, or at least helping out on the back end to see how these shows are properly produced, to actually get your toes in the water before getting fully involved in there.
Oh, okay. I mean, she's doing a pretty good job so far, I would say.
Yeah.
And of course, at the time that she wrote the Decade novel, and also when she was working on Shinobi, she was using her pseudonym. So that's the reason why a lot of people didn't know that she was an Inoue at first, because she was using a pseudonym when she was writing a lot of the stuff that she was doing.
Oh, okay.
Which, of course, a lot of writers tend to use pseudonyms when they're out there. There's even some that still, to this day, work for Toei and some other companies that we don't even know what their real identities are, because all they do is work under a pseudonym.
Oh.
Yeah. Let's see.
Giga confirmed.
I could do it.
Want me to put a Giga background for you instead?
No. You want to pick the right one.
Damn.
I like what you're using right now, though. That's very accurate. Although tariffs, so there should be less money in the background.
Dude, the tariffs have been killing me. By the way, what did you guys think of the $80 games?
We'll talk about it when we talk about it.
Yeah.
Oh, we're talking about that in this stream. Oh,
We're talking about Gozuja right now, and then at the end, I wanna theorize about what possibly we're gonna do about all the Robo forms. If there's gonna be one super form with the Tega sword with their auxiliaries, and how that's gonna work.
Oh, so this is something interesting from the interview, because obviously, since she hadn't worked on Sentai, obviously her dad did, but she was just like, so you expect me to watch all the previous Sentai before I do all this stuff? And they were like, no, not exactly. We just want you to get the gist of it. But the main thing we want to know also is, how do you feel about super robots? Do you like giant robots, madam? And she was just like, yeah, I don't know shit. The only thing I've seen is just Code Geass, Lelouch of the Rebellion. But she does watch a lot of anime. But essentially, that's the only robot anime she's seen.
It's a good one, to be fair. It's not.
At least it's not. At least you didn't watch something mid. Like, there's worse she could have watched.
Someone should have got her on Brave Burn. So much.
Yeah,
that would have been nice.
So essentially, the only Sentai that she really watched was Down Brothers, and the funny thing is that she describes it as pretty average.
Wow.
It's like, yeah, so yeah, the Sentai that I watched was Down Brothers, and I found it to be absolutely average. Okay. And they're like, really? That's the weirdest Sentai. It was like, yeah, that's average. And I'm just like, you know what? In her household, that's probably very average.
Growing up, I'm curious.
Like I want to know how the Inoue household was for her, to the point that it's like, yeah, no, Down Bros is tame. That shit's like the
that's
average. That's water. That's water with no flavor to me.
Yeah.
What is above average is what I'm curious about.
What's the ranking of how this works for the rating?
What's insane?
What supersedes all that stuff? So
yeah. Oh, by the way, Mark,
I don't want to know actually.
Your VTuber looks so similar to Shades. It's crazy.
Who the fuck is Shade? Oh, that person. Nah.
Yeah, some dude on the server.
Yeah, mine's better though.
Arguable.
All right.
I mean,
You know
knowing what
No,
what
no, 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 no,
Toshiki-
no, no, no. Cloudy, you use the base outfit. That's not even customized. That is the base outfit selection
I
on
know.
the
I
third
don't
page.
care.
Okay, don't even.
I don't want
You
to
can't
be
talk
like
about
a
it.
VTuber properly.
We're better at VTubing than you, and we don't
Yes,
even
you
care
are.
about it.
I don't want to put an
I
effort.
made this outfit in 30 minutes.
You did.
I don't
That's why
give a
we were
shit.
late.
That's 30 minutes I don't want to spend making a VTuber mom.
But you'll play them gotcha games.
Of course I will.
Oh,
Oh no, only one. I do play gotcha games, but I only one. Oh, speaking of games, Xenoblade. Yes. Oh god.
What level you
No,
at?
not yet. We're not there yet.
Don't worry. I'm only on chapter 7. I haven't gone past chapter 7.
Oh, you haven't gotten the flight pack yet.
No.
Ah,
Because
mid.
here's the thing. I'm
Fake
trying to
fan.
explore the whole world. Wait, what do you mean fake fan? Dude, I'm level 63. Get on my level.
Well, I'm level
higher level than
66, and he's higher level than me by like a couple.
Yeah,
You are? How the fuck? All right,
yeah.
cool.
Because I play video games.
Interesting.
The thing is, there's some areas you just can't get to without a flight pack. So I did every area I could do before I knew I
See,
had
that's
to
the
do the
thing.
flight
I
pack.
haven't yet, and I also haven't finished some of the affinity missions I want to. So I'm trying to 100% everything I can before I even get to that.
Yeah, you need to do that. You need to get on my level.
I don't care.
I don't. You said that to us. Return the favor.
I was talking to Mark, specifically Mark. But okay, Izzy, if
Okay,
you want to get
all right.
involved.
All right.
What the fuck did
Right.
I do? It was because I'm eating Hawaiian
All right.
pizza.
Cool.
What are you trying to Hawaiian?
Okay. All right. So that was some Gozuja talk. Obviously, Gozuja's still doing some stuff in there, and there was apparently a tease. Let me see here if I can open this up.
Careful.
I didn't know about this until right before the stream because Orb sent it to me as well. But it's the tease of essentially a the Ring Hunter Garudo and his Tegajun.
Oh yeah, that thing.
Yeah, like I didn't know that this was a thing
Yeah.
until like right before the stream. So let me get on here and see what this is so I can go ahead and share.
What the heck is it called again from Zenkaiser? What was it again?
This guy. Hakaiser?
Yeah, Zenkaiser. No, not Zenkaiser.
No, Hakaiser.
Yeah, Hakaiser. Yeah, that thing.
I think it was cool. I like
That's
it.
what people
I
are
didn't see,
saying. It
like-
looks reminds them of.
The thing is, if this is like the quote unquote sixth without us actually getting a proper Gozu like sixth, I'd be fine with that because I get tired of that kind of shit.
Give me another like Gosei Knight kind of vibe. You know what I mean? Give us an extra
Yeah.
ranger that's not a ranger.
Because I mean, his thing essentially looks like a Tegasaur, just white and red, which is a nice color combination that we got there.
Yeah,
And
not
it gives them an
biased at all.
excuse to not just use the base suit.
I like the. It
That
looks like
looks
what
cool.
metal, kind of like armor on the hands or on the arm. Like that looks pretty nice.
Yeah, and he's got a cape.
Oh.
Capes are cool.
I'm curious how old they'll be compared to like the other Rangers. Whether it be like canonically.
6
or,
years
like-
old. They grow
Yeah,
up when they transform.
We're not having another fucking Die Ranger situation on our hands, please. Or Turbo, I guess.
His hand does all the talking. He literally says, "Talk to the hand."
Oh my god.
That'd be great.
So from what I understand, like apparently whatever mech this guy gets is supposed to like attach onto the main thing, whatever his name.
Oh no!
Sort of.
I mean, is it going to be another situation like what we got with Boom Boom Drit that they didn't actually combine? They just like did a special move and that was it.
By the way, that was kind of disappointing when we drew. Now that I think about it, there was no like super mega ultra mech like with all of them, other than like the trailer. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, there was
The
just
champion carrier. Yeah. There's too many
just
separate
beam
ones. We
spam.
had Leo Rescue.
I thought we get some big mess of a mech like in Goanja or even Kira Major with the all
Oh
combined.
my god, a Goandra mech, that would be so nice.
just clusterfuck on clusterfuck.
Exactly. I mean, the closest we got was King Odra. King Odra was pretty close to that.
Yeah. Oh god, Extreme King Oger is like
But then it stopped.
so
then they
chonky.
stopped. They could have gone even further, but they stopped.
They could have.
Thing is, so I've heard the rumors of the Gozu Polar like for the longest time, and the thing is like since nothing's really come up for it, and the thing is like I know that usually we get like the sketch artists on there with their whole like on point game of their leaks with their sketches.
Yeah,
and we should have gotten something on the 6th by now. Usually we would, because they
So
would
what do
have
you think?
already started filming the episodes.
Do you think this will eventually become Polar? Or do you think Polar is like a separate entity, or do you think we'll even get a Polar?
Yeah, well, given that his color is white for his Tegasword, I can see the red accents becoming blue, maybe.
Mm. I would be kind of disappointed if they did, though.
I would too, because I like this color combination.
No, because this just looks
Yeah.
nice. Like, unless it's a completely different suit, I wouldn't want them to change.
And the thing is, it's like the light blocks off something on the top of their head. It looks like it could potentially be like some goggles or something that drop down to cover the face, like the visor portion of it.
Oh, like a visor pops up.
Yeah.
Ooh, question. Do you think returning actor for whoever's going to play this character, or a new actor?
Well, the thing is, there's one general for Gozuger that they had during the presser that we haven't gotten yet in the show.
Oh,
Wait, which one was that again?
The one that runs that AI company.
Oh,
yeah.
I remember now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're this deep into the show and we haven't been introduced to him yet.
That's fair.
We're not really that deep.
We're-
in the
we're
show.
like-
No, well, the thing is
Or-
just like
I don't-
the fact that he was at the presser and he's not even
yeah. Oh, I
shown
know.
up
Yeah.
or teased yet is the thing.
You think?
I
maybe
assume
he'll
because
come
like the
even
first
this-
5 episodes were like introducing everybody, kind of like even though it hasn't been really that way. So I assumed it would probably be like episode 8 or 9.
Are we at episode 5? What episode are we at?
Where episode 6, 7 is this weekend.
Okay, gotcha.
It just feels like a
Right.
long time because we had like a week off from it.
Yeah.
Because the thing is with that guy's backstory being, I think his name was Kuon or something like that. But yeah, since he apparently runs a AI company within No One World and that kind of shit. Like I wouldn't be surprised if this might be something from his company, if not him masquerading, kind of like an Iron Man type situation.
Could be.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
That'd be okay. That'd actually be kind of cool, actually.
I'd imagine like whether they partner up in the hunter. But so then, what for? Do you think like their civilian form would befriend the team, or do you think their hunter form would befriend the team?
I mean, probably befriend, because the thing is, like right now, the Gozugers is the way that they're working is they're in cooperation until they get all of the rings, and then after that, they're going to go free for all on each other.
Yep.
So it's just a mutual understanding for the time being. Let me see here, because apparently we got some better pictures of that ugly combination we saw last week.
What is that word on your arm, Mark?
Don't worry about it.
Do you know what that word is?
Do you know what the word is?
No, that's why I'm asking.
God, I hate this. I don't like this at all. And not a fan. Not a fan.
Oh yeah, that thing, that disgusting thing we talked about last time.
Yeah, because last time we just had the toy render, and now we got how the actual suit looks.
Still not
And golly gee, unable to move your neck that much, Batman.
My thing
Like
is, I don't
peripheral
know
vision's gonna suck.
where does neck
That looks
start and
so
head
comfortable.
begin? Because like,
I mean, he got double. He got the double head. I
That's
mean,
what I'm
technically, I think the top part is I guess like a hoodie because it doesn't really have a mouth.
It's like a headdress or something. Or?
Yeah, I
Right,
thought
right.
it was more like Egyptian style, like like new like headdress because it looks like
yeah,
with the ears and everything else.
but
Why
it's just
does
like
it just have
it's
one
too
good-
much head.
Why is it too much hand? Why does it have one?
No such
person
thing.
Hand?
I mean, yeah.
Suffering from Quagmire syndrome.
So is that?
I mean,
from
that's what we
the-
said last week. So
So is that headdress thing from the seahorse sword?
Yeah,
Yes.
from that new sword he's gaining.
You know, their weapons turn into the armor. It's just he hasn't had
Well,
one.
I know. Well,
Which
we
I
weren't here
really
last
want.
week when I pointed out it was a seahorse.
That sword is cool. This takes away from that.
I want the memorial that whenever they produce it.
Yeah.
The problem is that this takes away from that. Also,
It does. Absolutely, 100%.
Will the memorial... Wait, if they make a memorial sword, they'll also have to make a memorial Tegasword so that you can combine the two, right? Imagine how big.
Well, yes, they would have to make a memorial Tegasword because if they're going to make the changer, that's going to have to transform into a Tegasword.
Exactly.
Yep.
You think that one will
And I
move?
need them to announce it in like 3 months. So I can be scared of the price because of tariffs.
Jesus Christ. Oh, yeah, that's right. The tariffs. But yeah, I like the sword. I don't like this, whatever this is.
I still like it a little bit more than Tegasword Yellow. Tegasword Yellow is like the worst form for me.
That you and Mark are going to be enemies then. Jesus.
Why?
I thought you loved Tegasword Yellow because of the like wrestling and the beefy fist.
Well, I like the that. I like the character more. The Zord, it looks
Yeah, I
alright,
like the character. I don't
like that. I can't sit there and look at this on the screen and be like, "Yo, this looks fucking sure." Like, I mean, this is. I like this one more.
You do? Okay.
Yeah.
it just edges it out a bit because it's only got the one fistle, not the double fistle.
Which one's your favorite that's debuted or premiered so far?
That's in the review when I'm talking forms.
Okay.
I've filmed everything. It's just a matter of editing everything because it's
So
a
how
lot.
much of Xenoblade has interfered with that? You know,
Somewhat, but I think the biggest factor that played a role into this week was combination of work and my kid being on spring break.
Oh, okay, that's pretty cool. Good for them.
So, but outside of that, yeah, it's. I filmed everything yesterday. It took 6 hours to film everything.
And then that's not even editing.
Yeah, no, editing's been essentially like I've ignored all my work emails today. I forgot to even check my work emails today. I've just been editing since I woke up this morning.
It's just like, where is he? We can't get a hold of him.
Nah, my boss would call me directly if it was something that important. So, all right. So we done talking about this guy with the chain.
Gross.
Yeah.
Cool.
I
All right. So yeah, I guess the big Toku news of the week is something that I'm still hesitant on even being excited about because Toei announced essentially their global expansion initiative, and I'm like, cool. Let me get a roadmap on what you're actually trying to do, though, because that's the thing. It's like you can tell me you're going to globally expand, and I'm like, okay, great. Still need a roadmap. If you're an investor in a company and they tell you, okay, we're going to do thing, it's like, cool. What are your plans to launch said thing? Because otherwise, I ain't buying in. I'm not optimistic that you're lucrative in what you're selling me.
I mean, do you have to buy into anything really? It's just
I would.
Well, the thing is, it's just like Toei's done global expansions before by either pairing up with other people and whatnot. And look at how those ended up. Remember Team Kamen Rider?
Oh, yeah.
The good old days. I feel like that
And
was
even
more
then, it's like look at their expansion with fucking Shout Factory, because even though like Shout Factory has the episodes of so many things up on their YouTube channel, they live stream it consistently, but at the same time, like I brought this up when I was streaming on Twitch a couple weeks back. It's like I was looking at their Geets videos, and most of them are under 1K views, and I'm like, YouTube doesn't even start paying you money for each video until it reaches 1K views. That's when it starts gathering revenue. So I'm like, they're putting this out there and they're not even getting any revenue from it. So I'm just like, yeah,
I didn't know they're under 1K because I can't.
Yeah,
no, the views are bad.
Like only like their debut episodes are good. Everything else afterwards, it's like no one kept up with it. Because I was just like, yeah, literally almost all the episodes of Geets are on their channel, I believe. And maybe a handful are over 1K.
Don't forget the DVD
Well-
sales are probably gonna suck because they don't have.
No, they're
ads.
super low. Well, the worst is they'll put the DVDs out and the Blu-rays.
No
and
specials.
2 days before they drop, they'll freaking live stream the whole entire thing on Twitch.
Yes.
They did it with 01. They did it with Geets. Like, hey, Geets is coming out this Tuesday on Blu-ray, and guess what? Sunday
So
we're gonna
fair
just
with
stream the
us.
whole entire series. And
We're
it's
gonna
like,
stream
well,
it.
let's watch it for free and not pay $90 for the Blu-ray.
That doesn't also have all the content because none of the specials, movies, crossovers.
I know, but in general, like, let's face it, if you want to, like, let's take off the table people like us that, obtain Toku, watch anyways. If you want to get the general Western appeal, they're not going to know about the V cinemas and all this other stuff. They're not.
True.
That's not going to be common knowledge to them. But at the same time, when you go on, like, Discotech Media and all these other ones, they're getting like V3, they're doing anime, this, that, and they're getting Metal Hero and stuff like that. And I see more hype behind whenever they even are releasing Kamen Rider stuff, because compared to when Shout Factory was like, hey, we got some stuff. Like, the only thing they ever did good was their Super Sentai DVDs. I always saw them in FYE and other stores, and they were always on like store shelves, and the pricing wasn't bad.
I think Discotech is a better marketing team than Shout Factory when it comes to marketing Toku.
Oh, 100%. Their live stream is great.
Yeah, they live stream everything, and they'll live tweet everything, and that gets around.
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up Toku Shoutsu's stuff on.
It's
Well, other than that, I'm curious. Do we have any rumors as to what this global initiative even?
Nothing.
No, that's the
not a
thing.
thing.
They put out that statement. They made an official X account, and that's really it. So I'm just like that tells me nothing. There's no need to get hyped about any of this because it's like what
am I getting hyped about?
Horrible
for?
timing.
There's nothing there.
It's horrible timing because you saw how big, and even though it was only for 1 weekend, they did a second drop for, well, not weekend, but 2 days in a row. They had Shin Ultraman and Shin Kamen Rider did really well in theaters. You had Godzilla -1, which I know is Toho, but it's Toku, and it broke all these records. That's not in the budget. And you're telling me you didn't want to, in the time frame of stuff like that, come out and be like, hey, you like stuff like this? We're going to be bringing Toei's properties globally so everyone can enjoy them. Instead, they wait 8 or 9, 10 months later, and they do it as a tweet with a photo, and that's it. But they've done it before because it's like, look at when they're like, yeah, we're going to release like Kamen Rider on our YouTube channel with English subs. We're going to give you the first 2 episodes, if that. That's all you're getting. There's a lot of first and second episodes of shows on there.
So it looks like they've been showing off 01 on here, in which case most of these were last month. The bulk of them are below 1K, like the last episode 1.7K, but then the episode before that, like 857, 953. Like, it's like they get close, but it takes a while for them to get there, especially like they've been out for like a month.
Aren't these re-uploads? Because they before the Blu-ray came out, they did a live stream with the whole entire show and the V Cinema, and then they had it on their
They had a couple of
app.
episodes up. I don't believe they had the whole series up. I think they had like the first set of episodes.
I know they did 2 back-to-back marathon streams of the show, which was stupid. I still think that's the worst marketing ever, because it's like, especially with the Pluto TV app and stuff like that, if you see a show airing live on their Shout Factory, if you just save the episode to like your watch list, it puts the whole show there for you to have it on demand for free.
And like
So it's
looking
like
at the
they screw themselves over.
Geets, which of course was like the one that everyone and their mom was like super hyped up about back when it was airing and all that stuff. Like, okay, they've actually have gone up since the last time I looked at this, because a good chunk of the episodes are just at 1K or like squeaking by 1K, but then you still have several episodes that are below it.
Do they ever
below
remove
1K
episodes or no? Like, do they ever?
I mean, this is the first time they've uploaded like all of Geets was, completely uploaded up. And it's just like, man, you're going to do that after you release the Blu-ray? Okay, well, then what's the point of buying that Blu-ray? This is devastating, though. Like original Kamen Rider, all of it on here. Look at that. Most of them aren't even breaking 200 views.
That's
Yo,
sad.
do you know anyone who's going to sit through the original Kamen Rider?
But at
You
least
did.
watch some of the episodes. Like this is not even 200 views on almost every single episode.
I feel like that's kind of accurate because like a lot of the newer fans probably don't even care
Episode
about
1, 3.4K. Episode 2, 835. Episode 3, 598. And it just keeps going down and down and down until like episode 12, 265.
Oh wait, can you check something for me? Can you check episode 15?
Episode 15 is 266.
Ah, fuck. That's I'm pretty sure that's when Hayato Ichimonji replaces.
I know Toei when they did the whole, global whatever, but like I would like to know what would happen if Toei was like, hey, here's King
Man, even these Kuga
subs on YouTube. Because like I feel like Super Sentai would probably do better than Kamen Rider. That's just
it would because of the Western, and their draw into a lot of this stuff was Power Rangers, and with the Void being there, that would be like the ample thing for them to put on there.
That's why they do the streaming like Crunchyroll or something like that. Just have it like do a simul stream or something like that.
Simulcast? That would be great.
Now here's the question: with Toei trying to do a global expansion, do you think that their partnership with Shout Factory is over and they're just going to try and do it themselves?
Hope so.
Could
I
be.
mean,
if they are, I gotta get those DVDs.
Because I'm just like right now, everything that I'm seeing from Shout Factory would be like, yeah, you're not a good partner for me.
I'm just saying
they really aren't, especially when you see the quality and the care like Discotech puts in their stuff. They're giving you special features on a lot of the stuff. They're doing little mini documentaries in English on there with like, people who know this stuff talking on it. They do it with Ultraman stuff too, with Subaraya. It's like, I think when it came to bring the old Super Sentai DVDs when Shout Factory was putting those out, that's great. But Shout Factory hasn't evolved the business model and the business practice and the marketing. Like I remember when 01 and Kugan stuff got announced for Blu-ray, everyone was losing their shit, pre-ordering it, talking about it. And now whenever something gets announced by Shout Factory, it's kind of like, oh, okay. Like that's
like
cool,
what the hell was Ash's model doing just a second ago? I was like, the fuck was that? What the fuck was that?
I'm having a drink of like my thing. So
it did the lean back and then just like,
Well,
he's
drinking water. What do you expect?
I wasn't even leaning back
from under the tap.
Straight. I think I was
your model just went like,
No, I saw.
Get out of your get out of camera shot if you're gonna do that. Apparently,
Yeah, it's kind of like when I was eating pizza before we went live. It was like,
the first thing I heard when you like enabled your camera was just smacking.
yeah, dude, it was saucy pizza. There's a lot of sauce on it.
Now, Ronnie brings up a point
pizza
that I'm gonna like fight you on a little bit because he says a lot of fans probably already watch these shows on Tubi and whatnot, but I'm just like, if we're talking about like younger millennials and like Gen Zers, they're not watching Tubi. Let's be real, they ain't doing that shit. They're watching this on like, if they're not getting it the same way that we normally get it, or they're getting it from like those websites that put them up. Because I bet those websites get like the buku like views, and even my Twitch streams. Like when I look at the overnight data, it's like I get over 1K views on those now when it comes to superhero time. But the bulk of viewership typically should go to YouTube because YouTube is the largest streaming platform in the world.
Not that, but it's easier.
And the thing is, like back in the day, like when the internet was the Wild West, and you would just see episodes of Kamen Rider just being uploaded willy nilly. Hell, I was one of those people that uploaded the majority of Kauto onto YouTube back in the day before they started cracking down a lot of the stuff. So it's rare to see this kind of stuff. So if someone is searching for full episodes, and for those of us that obviously do reviews on this shit, we always get questions like, where do you watch this stuff? Yeah. It's like, well, I mean, it would be nice to be able to point to some of these companies and be like, yeah, just go on their YouTube channel right there. I could only do that with Super Raya.
You could only do that with Ultraman.
The main thing is too, like one, you have to search, hey, I want to watch full episodes of Kamen Rider, like Geats or 01. Without marketing, without any promotion like Ash brought up and I brought up, no one knows these are there. You're not going to get new fans, people in the IP if they don't know what the IP is. Ultraman, like they're global. They put out the new global YouTube channel months ago and this and that. They're doing English dubs. They got Johnny Young Bosch hyping it up. All this other stuff with Blazar. And unless you're searching for full episodes of Kamen Rider, you're not going to find that, or you know about Toku Shoutsu and stuff like that, or Shout Factor, whatever the hell they want to call themselves. There's no marketing on social media. You're not going to get, say, like one of my coworkers who doesn't know anything about anything Toku. You're not going to have them stumble across this on YouTube. You're not bringing new eyes to the IP that have never heard of the IP before. I know people who knew of Godzilla, never really, outside of, the MonsterVerse stuff, never watched a Japanese Godzilla movie before, and then they're going and seeing -1 2 or 3 times in theaters. I know people who don't know about Ultraman or Kamen Rider, and they saw Shin Ultraman and Shin Kamen Rider, they're like, Master Rider, they're like, these are great. In the sense, like, yeah, those movies in theaters and marketing got the normal general public and general audience into it. Shout Factory is just like, hey, we uploaded like 48 episodes in a time frame of 7 days. Go watch them. It's like, that's it. You don't want to like do a cool trailer or a new announcement, or hey, a new Kamen Rider season you haven't seen with official English subs is about to be released on our YouTube channel, or like I don't see ads for it popping up on YouTube for like, there's no marketing. So of course they're going to get under 1,000. I guarantee you. How many of those 1,000 views, under 1,000 views, are like people who have never seen Kamen Rider before? They're not bringing new eyes to it. And I would hope whatever this Toei Kamen Rider Global, whatever it's called, would, do something to bring new eyes on it.
The thing that, like, looking at every video that Toku Shoutsu has put up, they regularly do live streams for a lot of Sentais that they've released, DVDs and Blu-rays to, but none of those episodes are just available to just watch on their YouTube channel.
No, I
so
think it's
I'm
a right
wondering,
thing.
yeah, so that's the big question mark. Is this being blocked by the rights holders for Power Rangers? Because if Toei is letting them just do this for Kamen Rider, but there's muddy water when it comes to Sentai, probably because of Power Rangers, then that would be the other thing, which kind of begs the question: if Toei is gonna do something like a Subaraya, where they do worldwide distribution of it, like that's the dream, right? Like there's no longer any need for us to, or at least for those people to watch Raws, like when they drop in Japan, if they literally just release the episode with the subs as it airs in Japan, if not like an hour afterwards, then people can just watch it directly. Like the amount of ad revenue that they would just get from doing Superhero Time on YouTube, like right after it's done airing in Japan, would be a godsend, especially if they are ahead of production schedule like they have been with Gavu, and they continue that trend, then they have more than enough time to actually do some sort of localization efforts, even if it's just subtitles officially, and release that online at a certain time, because then you have a big global watch party.
Not gonna lie,
I'm still on the Team Ash with simulcast on Crunchyroll. I think that would be the dream. Like that's so easy. Like,
what about?
I mean, I don't do Crunchyroll at all, but once again, since Super Raya does this on YouTube, I'm like, why don't you just take it to YouTube?
Exactly. It's also the biggest platform. People get so exposed to it. Like,
it is.
There's no paid game.
But
discoverability. Like I said, the discoverability for YouTube is the issue. General people, like you go pick a random person on the street who doesn't know anything about Toku, they're not going to find Shout Factories.
But the thing is, it's like they tend to trend when there's a lot of eyes on it, and if they do a live like episode debut, then it would get to trending because people, a lot of eyes would be on it.
If it's from Toei officially, I 100% agree with that. I'm just saying currently, because that's the pipe dream, but we have to look at what we're getting when it comes to Toei properties. It's Shout Factory.
But,
names
but
change.
let's look at this. If I were to turn on my VPN right now and go to Toei's site, well, Toei's like YouTube account, all the episodes for Sentai and Kamen Rider are there in their Japanese accounts. They're geo-locked, and they just don't have the obviously no subtitles. So it's like, no, they're already doing this for the local audience. So it's like their shit's right there.
But
The
we're
thing is,
talking
if they're like
global.
Super Ryan, they could just put subs while they air in Japan, simultaneously while they air in America on YouTube. The amount of people who would start watching and the traffic that would lead to would be pretty big.
Yeah, and then the other thing is like we know that Toei is lazy and would like to spend as little money as possible on whatever the hell they're trying to do. And one thing that I've known about for a while is obviously VLC is working on an AI update that automatically does subtitles for anything raw that you feed into it. So obviously, like those type of subtitle techniques are probably well more refined and available to bigger companies like a Toei, where they could do something like this and just run it through an AI program and just be like, hey, here you go, subtitles. We're doing the bare minimum. And you know what? Like Pokemon's releases, I will still go ahead and get it for the bare minimum, even though I'm still going to have complaints. I'd be like, all right.
Are you going to do that for $80 though?
I mean, listen, I'm gonna have to. I'm not gonna like it,
probably.
but I'm gonna do it. So
Yeah,
I mean,
not gonna like it. I'm gonna complain all the way to the bank.
But you're still going to spend that money. You're going to consume, aren't you?
Yep, I still am.
listen, that's why I'm not as hurt about everything. You know, at the end of the day, I'm a hypocrite. I'm still gonna buy my shit.
Here's the
so,
thing:
you know what?
I
I'm just
wouldn't
gonna do it.
care if they increase the price on the system itself. Like, say it was $500, just so we can.
Hey,
keep
well,
the game.
don't start derailing with some Switch 2
We're
talk.
still talking about. We're still on Toei. Listen, we're still talking about Toei. Listen, Cloud,
we're still talking about Toei.
Ahead too far.
I'm so
Yes.
passionately motivated about it, though.
Cloudy, I checked my account and I don't see the likeness rights payment going through yet.
I moved the decimal point. That's why.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna talk to my lawyers really quick.
So outside of like video distribution and things like that, which once again, it's like we literally know nothing about what this globalization plan even means. Because once again, like that would be the dream, is for them to just release their content that way. Then the other thing is just the availability of the products, because of course we've got tokullectibles, and when we had Team Kamen Rider, we were available to purchase things from Kamen Rider and shit like that in just even regular ass GameStops. But we can't anymore because obviously Team Kamen Rider is not a thing. So it's like, is this going to further
have to say
expand?
that wasn't that there's
So,
an
like,
asterisk
Bandai?
next to Team Kamen Rider because that's through Bandai. Like a lot of people like that, so I don't count. Like they, as much as they talked about shows, it was mainly toy stuff, and they were doing that while doing the regular Bandai stuff too. Like they all still do like their live streams, and they talk about like Gunpla and this and that. So it's like one of those things where I'm like, they were just doing double duty. I bet you they weren't getting paid any extra. They were just working extra hard on because they were passionate about it. So I was like, I give them credit. They did the live streams and the community stuff, which was cool. But it's like once they kind of stopped, like I feel like there's been nothing from a Kamen Rider and Super Sentai in the West standpoint. Like no one really outside of YouTube and what we do and everything else. No one's really like bringing anything out to talk about for it.
Now, the question is also with whatever Hasbro's got cooking with Power Rangers, especially with them not relying on anything Sentai going forward, can Toei just finally no longer like the thing is do we have like there's no way we have like their actual contracts in writing somewhere that we know what the actual limitations of what Toei can do in the West verbatim per whatever Hasbro has set with the likeness of Super Sentai footage, aka Power Rangers in the West. Like we don't have what the actual agreement was, right?
No, probably not.
No.
Also, I'm just curious, like even in the agreement, like I assume like Toei would have like the majority like footholding on that. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like they wouldn't just be
clearly not if everything that is Sentai related that gets put out in like the West, especially like on YouTube, gets geo blocked.
Maybe it's because like here's the other thing. It's like people know Power Rangers as Power Rangers. Like once you introduce as like Super Sentai, some people will probably get confused. Like at that point, would you run like, is it worth it to kind of do it? Because it's like, they're gonna expect one thing and you're gonna receive another.
Yes, because the thing is, it's like sometimes like when Sentai be hitting, it does get a lot of views. And the thing is, it's like Ash definitely knows this. When he releases a Power Rangers video that has nothing to do with Power Rangers, technically talking about shit from Sentai that just never got into Power Rangers, that people get fascinated by that shit, right?
They're like, ooh,
yeah. No, that's the best performing review I've had on Goja. It's outdoing my episode 1 review.
Because it's essentially it's like cut content for some folks. It's just like, what you talking about?
Look, as soon as I saw, like, I know I got in trouble many years ago with the whole Kamen Rider Jin thing with the thumbnail.
Yes.
But I played around with like the free thumbnail thing with YouTube to see which one would do the best. And like the one that won was like the wide shot of the Megazord.
That's the first one that got recommended to me. Like that's the one that popped up on my feed, and I was just like, "Son of a bitch!"
Yeah, I felt bad that it would probably get spoiled for like a lot of people, but I was like, "This is going to get a lot of like." This is what I knew what I was doing. Like I knew what I was doing to get people's attention.
I've made it a habit on Sundays now to just avoid the internet until I'm about to do my stream on Sunday night. So
I was going to I didn't know what time because of time since you stream. I was going to message you going like, just stay off YouTube until you stream. I'll probably have a.
It's captured me drinking.
Yeah, like I didn't want to give you I didn't want to hint at what the spoiler would be or something big. I was just be like, just don't open up the YouTube homepage. My video gets recommended to you.
Yeah, I didn't see it until
May for spoilers.
It's like, luckily I didn't click on anything YouTube on that day. Because usually when I'm working my second job, I'm just either on VC chat or on or watching random news feeds or whatever. So
I do wonder if episode 7 is going to pop off because I'll have so much to work with all those dino. Like, if you've seen the preview, all the dino ranges and that stuff like that.
I hope so. I mean, just the shot alone of like the OG Megazord with that cape, that should like.
Oh, that's so badass. He looks like
they knew what they were doing. And the thing is, if they're doing like what they did with Don Momo, where we were gonna get a multi-episode arc, that'd be great because that is my hope for what they do with some of these bigger characters is that they do give them little mini arcs to like flesh them out, and it's not just a one and done like character of the week type moment, because it's like what we got with the Prime Minister. He lasted for several episodes. He even beat out the usual Kamen Rider 2 episode arcs, and I was like, wow.
I thought he was just gonna keep.
Give me more of that.
I thought he was just gonna keep being a recurring character.
Well, the thing is, he is going to be a recurring character because he's still friends with Hoiru. Yeah. He's number one friend. But the thing is, his arc essentially is done. But, can we get more arcs like that? And I'd be fine with it because that would definitely set a different tone for Goju, besides obviously the wackiness that it has going on, but it still gives you some therapy sessions as well, like with the latest episode. So
let's see Taya come back again. That'd be great.
I mean, he's still around, so obviously we got to work out something with his character.
Yeah.
So anything else regarding Toei's entire thing?
So I was looking at their Twitter, and they have the one link to their official like Toei site, commenter site, and one of the things that's right on the left side of it that got me thinking: what if, because Toei likes money, right? What if this is all just like?
Clearly not.
Hear me out. This is like the long game. This is the domino effect. Here's my whiteboard with my red string conspiracy theory. So they start using social media more to actually promote all the stuff to the West, and what we get is
memes.
The Toei Fun Time fan club app, right? The Toei TTFC whatever app, because it's only $6.60 US to sign up for. What if we got that released for as a global release, and we got all that stuff subbed that way? So they weren't going to do anything for free on YouTube, maybe some things to promote the stuff, but they gave us the app instead. And we could watch the shows on there.
I mean, I'm a big proponent of actually, of voting with your wallet. So even though I still attain my stuff by other means, I would still pay for it.
Because it was 6 years ago, right? So there's a wrestling company called New Japan Pro Wrestling, and you had to you could order the pay-per-views, but they had their own streaming service app called New Japan World. And what they did was they were like, oh, for the first time ever, they released an English version of that app, and it was like not that expensive to sign up for, and you could catch all the stuff with English subs. They even hired wrestling commentators in English to do the stuff for it. Ash likes wrestling, so he knows what I'm talking about. Thanks to Chris Jericho going over there and wrestling right after he left WWE. And I'm like, ever since they did that with the New Japan Pro Wrestling World app, I was like, why Toei could do this with their app? I would sign up for the Toei fan club or Toei Tokusatsu fan club app. I would sign up for that because it's 940 yen. That's $6.60. Even if they put a $9.99, like a $10 US price on it, I'd sign up for it. You get the V cinemas, the shows, like all the specials. That's worth it to me for $10. Like, yeah, I would still obtain the ones I do just to have all my external, but even if they use the AI to subtitle everything, like their overhead cost for the app isn't going to be that much to have it in English and then have all this stuff. Like they'll make money even if you get 2,000 people to sign up at $10, you got $20K right there a month revenue from the West.
I can also tell that you're probably leaning in really good with your camera, like you normally do when you're talking, because your VTuber is definitely trying to lean in, telling me some of that shit.
I'm further away from the camera. Actually, I'm actually leaning away from the camera. I don't know why it's showing me closer. Like if I was gonna be
it's like you're really trying to give us sell us in on this. Give me that info.
I'm gonna squint real quick. Listen.
It looks like you're trying to kiss me, bro. Stop.
What if we got Toei?
Stop. This ain't it. This ain't the stream for that.
What if they kissing the Tegazord?
Fanfic writers, get on it.
Listen, what happens with VTuber model stays with the VTuber models. Okay, we're digital world. Okay, we're Diddy Destins together.
We're Diddy Destins.
I won't wink. Hold on. My models, my VTuber models freaking out because I tried to wink. Oh god, you can't read different eyes.
Am I the only one who pre-ordered via? Am I the only one who pre-ordered via the D2 Digivice?
I got that, and I pre-ordered both the versions of the Godzilla crossover one.
I decided not to because then after Switch 2 stuff, I was like, well, let me put aside some of that stuff there. But before getting into, I know some people are curious about some of our Switch 2 shit when we were talking gaming last week. But there's another thing that is affecting the Switch 2 that we're wondering is it going to affect our Toku Toys? And that is the state of the trade wars right now.
I'm Australian, so please fill me in.
So essentially, the president of the United States decided to raise tariffs on foreign goods, and every company got hit. I mean, not every company, every nation got hit. Even a country with 0 citizens got hit. So everyone got hit, and no one got hit at the same time. That's how you know.
Damn.
It's like a country with a population of 0 got hit with 10% tariffs. That's crazy. Wait,
so does it mean Toku Collectibles use code ZEO at checkout? Does that mean they're gonna go up in price?
That's the thing.
They haven't made a post yet about it.
Yeah, I'm gonna email them later on and see if there's anything that they because I'm sure a lot of companies are trying to assess what the pricing is going to end up being for some of this stuff, especially depending on where they're produced from. Because we know that a lot of these companies don't just produce everything in-house at all. They outsource to different nations, and then because of that could end up affecting the price of goods in general. But let me see if I can pull up the tariff.
So
by
Hobby Link Japan did a post about it, and a few others. It's like we don't know fully what it's gonna, because usually games and toys are exempt from tariffs. This is the normal. Usually they're supposed to be exempt. This is not like video game, like board games and like just toys, like, you know, stuffed animals, stuff like that. Those are supposed to be exempt. Now, apparently that's not the case anymore. And I had a little talk with my dude in Japan because I was like, hey, if you want to give me some stuff, like it's just does eBay seller to seller, right? We could do a little eBay private deals, like, you know, this and that. And he's like, I don't even know what it means. And I'm like, listen, I'm trying to be irresponsible. I need my Toku Toys. Now, if the prices go up, my concern is this going to affect Toku debt? Because I might.
If the price goes up, then yes, it's
just on tariffs alone, I'm winning.
Yeah. Okay. So just to put into some perspective, CNN put out a list of the tariffs that essentially are being imposed on there, plus based off of the U.S. imports that we have already from these countries. And Japan is number 3 in terms of the imports that we take into the U.S. In which case, a 24% tariff was imposed on Japan. That just is like, okay, all right, so goods from Japan get a 24% tariff already based off of what they already had. No, every country has some tariffs on other countries already. That's usually part of their trade agreements anyway, but this is just done literally for fucking around and finding out.
Yeah. And I'm upset about it because, like, I spent a lot.
And the thing is, a lot of the countries that got hit really badly were a lot of these Asian nations, and that's where a lot of the goods get produced. So yeah, China got slapped with 34% tariff on top of what they already had. Japan 24, Vietnam 46, which I think was like the most outlandish one. And we'll get to that when we get to the Nintendo talk, because
really, when we talk about the Nintendo, because like it was brought up in chat. Oh well, the Japanese Switch 2 is around 340. Yeah, but it's region locked. In Japan and in Japan, Japanese only. So
and there's a tax incentive also for Japan for them releasing things that are exclusive to a Japanese audience.
Since we're talking about tariffs, I have to change my background.
That's crazy. They region locked it because the Switch 1 was region free.
Region locked. There's 2 different versions in Japan for it, and we'll get on that.
Yeah. There's a price difference too.
So
tariffs, America. Bald eagle.
Taiwan's another nation. Again, 32% tariff, and that's another country in which we get a lot of things produced in. Because the thing is, it's like there's a lot of countries that they've got cheaper labor, so because of that, a lot of companies go there to go ahead and produce their goods, and because obviously, like, they can't get that cheaper labor in a nation like the U.S. They could, but they got rid of that workforce. So And this is the thing. It's like normally I'm one of those that for my YouTube type stuff, I try to avoid political talk because I'm a very like moderate person in terms of my political like stances on a lot of things. On Discord, I'll talk politics all day, every day. But on here, I normally try and avoid that shit. But this got to the point now where it's affecting every avenue of just anything. Like from the games we play to the shit we collect, anything you buy now is affected by this. So now it's technically affecting even the Toku community for those of us that just buy really nice pieces of plastic.
Right.
Just because of where they're produced. So the thing is, it's like we don't know how a lot of these companies are going to react, but some of them are probably going to reassess, reevaluate, and then change some things on there. Because even then, the importing is probably going to go back to how it was back in the old days of the internet, where it was a good 300% markup on anything you were trying to import from Japan, just because importing shit was a nightmare back then. Now it's gotten a little bit easier, but with shit like this being implemented, then we could go back to those days.
There's some even some Pokemon like TCG shops I follow that are like, they're basically like, yeah, because of this, and we get ours from like Taiwan or this and that, like we're gonna have to we'll order the stuff, but when it arrives, we have to then tack on another 20% on your order to cover it. And I'm like, ooh, that's gonna be rough for a lot of people. Like, because, like I said, toys and games are supposed to be exempt, but for some odd reason, they're not.
Yep.
And I would like to just say, because of how old I am, this background behind me is fitting because my VTuber model is running for president in 2028.
Okay.
That's right. I'm running for president. It's going to be amazing. Cloudy's my campaign manager because he's got money.
I'm going to be running for treasurer because I legally cannot be president.
That's fine. That's true. Yeah. Never mind.
I'm still like some of these countries. It's just like,
yeah. Well, some of them have already like, I guess, communicated and have like worked on.
Well, they're essentially they're trying to work because I know Vietnam's like, well, what if we like, just have 0% tariffs on y'all? Then what will happen? Like right now, even they're going like, what if we just do nothing? Like just we'll just go ahead and just give everything at cost.
Yeah, they're trying to do negotiation tactics, and I was like,
this will work for some places, but not others. Yeah. And that's the question: is like who does it? Because right now it's all over the board on who's actually going to go ahead.
Taka did a tweet yesterday about this, and he's not sure if he's even going to like sell to the U.S. anymore.
Oh wow, really?
I didn't read it fully. He read something. He said something about it, and I was like, it was late at night when I was reading it, and I was like,
I can try and find the tweet.
Yeah, I already have it. Let's see. It's he says this is really starting to look like a real possibility that exports from Japan to the US will become impossible for small stores like me. I didn't expect to lose my job so suddenly. I'll continue my store as much as I can, but I don't know what will happen in the future if tariffs and other exports rules to US become any stricter. So yeah. I was like, damn, because like he has so many hidden gems on that shop.
Yeah.
Oh, he does.
Like if you go for sure older shows, like I'll go through the old like Blade when I was looking for like very, very niche Blade stuff. Makari on Bai, nothing. Madarake, nothing. eBay, even zero. And then I go on his shop and I'm like, oh my god, he has stuff in the box. And this is stuff that was like released in 2004 and 2005. And I was like, geez. I was like, add to cart. So it's like that sucks because like he's one of the few people where I'm like, you're gonna find gems with him constantly, and if something really obscure, he might have it on there, especially for gimmicks.
It's the name of the shop. It's Kotetsu Toys Japan.
Yes.
He's also got a YouTube channel.
Yep. Oh, his videos are funny with his wife.
But yeah, the thing is, like, obviously his shipping was a little high up there because, of course, the post. But I can only imagine with tariffs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because obviously, if you say you use a UPS and you had like a World Ship account, you're going to get those discounts. But like corporations can afford those to get those discounts. An LLC style, like 1 to 2 employee business, cannot afford those high end shipping contracts with like a FedEx or EMS, which is basically Japan Post and and DHL and stuff. Like if I had a shop, like say me and Cloudy had a shop, like yeah, we could do it, but like it's pricey because you got to pay either annually or monthly, and you have to have a lot of revenue to even justify paying for those. Because my company uses World Ship through UPS, and I see how much that costs in the books, and I'm like, Jesus, like that's not cheap. So I can only imagine like the overhead cost of doing something like this in Japan out of your own like place selling toys.
Yeah, so
Tonic, man, I hope it works out for him because like he's cool.
Mm-hmm.
I just hope that this whole trade war thing fucking ends soon because it's a little ridiculous right now with everything that is potentially going to get affected by this.
I pointed this out at work, and I was like, people won't get fully realize how bad it is because they don't understand it until we get a South Park episode about it. Then something will happen. We need South Park to explain it to.
I mean, South Park is coming back.
I know.
They
A full
teased
season this time. A full
Yep,
season.
they've teased us some of the stuff that's already been in the news. I already saw all those airplanes.
Yeah.
It's for the reason why I'm not flying. Like I got a work meeting that's a 5.5 hour flight, like in a couple weeks, and my boss is like, just fly over, and I'm like, no, I am not.
I'm supposed to fly across the country. Like,
did you guys hear about the recent plane that caught fire?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've-
No, I'm. There's a reason why I drove across the country last year, and again this year.
So yeah, I'm not liking some of this stuff, especially since it is leading to some other things going on. Because let's talk real quick about some gaming stuff just to wrap out the night. Because obviously we were hyped about it last week. Switch 2 getting shown off, and of course that was I did stream it on Twitch. My reaction, and most of it was like, y'all just keep showing me old games or new games. You see them new games. You're showing me ports of game. The thing is, like, look, I appreciate like the third party support, but the majority of the third party games that they showed off was games that have been available for a year plus in other platforms. I was like, give me a third.
Better.
Yeah, I'm like, let me get that third party game that just recently came out, just for me to be like, oh great, then it was worth me actually not getting Monster Hunter Wilds because it's here.
Well, I mean, we had the Piranha Plant camera, which I want on.
I'm not gonna buy that.
No, I'm not buying that.
Like
No, I'm not buying that.
I just the way it looks.
I'm not buying
buying
that
the camera,
iPhone 240p fucking camera.
Apparently, its tracking works better even in low lighting conditions. So, I haven't seen all the Nintendo Treehouse shit.
They were doing a hands-on event in New York, and some people were telling me that like it's actually like really good, and I was like, okay, like I was gonna get it regardless, so it doesn't matter.
The thing is, I don't want a camera constantly pointing on me when I'm like in the couch.
Oh no, I want to keep that thing plugged in all the time. Like I just like the way the Piranha Plant looks, so I'm like gonna.
That Hori be making those nice accessories from time to time.
Oh yeah, no, that's why I'm like, because they had that nice fight stick they released for the Switch that no one talks about, the white and like blue one, and I was like, you know,
the thing is, so one of the things that I've seen a lot during like the live streams for it is people just saying drop the price when it comes to the Switch 2. The thing is, I personally think that the price is justified. Like the price we currently have. Let me specify, because we don't know how much that's going to change, but I think the current price is justified.
I mean, I looked at my pre-order for the Switch 1 like almost 10 years ago, and it's almost the exact same price.
Well, that's the thing. It's like Nintendo doesn't really lower their price. So for people going like, yeah, I'll just wait for a sale, it's like,
that's not going to happen.
You're going to die. So
basically, like, there's no... Like, it'll go on sale for Black Friday. It's like, oh, sweet summer child.
There's got to be a freak event for it to drop in price, like the 3DS. Like the 3DS launched at $250. Only people like me bought it. And then like after 3 months, they were like, no, we're going to drop it down by $50. But here's some Nintendo Ambassador games that we're never going to release to other folks. At least they kept their word. They never released those games.
That's the price on that thing, because I can't believe I bought that when it came out.
Yeah, it launched at $250. And literally 2 weeks before, I had bought the special edition Pokemon Black and White DSi.
I have that. That was the video we talked about last week when I was like, hey, my older videos, like one of the first videos is me unboxing that.
So yeah, it's like, so $450 as the price tag, and people going like, no OLED, no buy. I'm just like, bro, like, y'all don't realize like the LED technology has gotten really good over the years. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, like, I play on my PlayStation Portal from time to time, and that's got a really good, it's a much better LCD screen than what my Switch has, and I don't have the OLED, but I do play on an OLED TV when I'm in the bedroom and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. and it's got
I
some
know.
really good.
The
quality.
portal had some good updates. They did some quality of life updates to that portal. Like, I am still hard pressed. We may get an actual official Sony handheld. I feel like the portal was just testing different things for it, because now you don't even need to, like, if you're on Wi-Fi, you'll just have access to PlayStation Plus and streaming on it without needing to mirror basically what's on your console.
But within the Switch 2 itself, the screen is so it's 1080p within the screen itself, so it's a higher resolution than your standard Switch, even the OLED model. But it runs at 120 hertz, which is godly for all that stuff.
Yes.
It has variable refresh rate, so VRR enabled within it itself. When most people were seeing this kind of like news like earlier on, they were like, "There's no way Nintendo's going to opt in for that kind of shit. That's too fancy for Nintendo." But they did it, and it's got HDR on the screen itself. That's something that I was like, "Okay, now we're playing with power."
Now I'm
Like,
playing
that's
in
a-
bed.
Who do I got to kiss at Nintendo? Because that was.
Okay, baby, because that's the thing. It's like, so if you got HDR, that means you've got high dynamic range. Like, it's not one that's compatible with it. It's a screen that can actually output at HDR. That means the blacks are black and the whites are white, like with no blooming in between. Like, it's good. It doesn't have that weird halo effect on there, which leads some folks to speculate that it's probably using mini LED technology, which is almost as good as OLED when it comes to the black levels, but the brightness levels are much higher because it's LEDs. Like, OLEDs can't get that level of brightness.
Don't do it, Mark. Don't say it.
So it's just like it's just fantastic when it comes to that kind of contrast ratio that we got on there. So the color dynamic, fantastic. As someone that sold TVs for a good chunk of his retail life, like that kind of shit, I'm just like, yes. Like, the people that are complaining about no OLED, it's like, y'all don't understand. Like, I game on an OLED regularly. Like, the mini LEDs, like, once that technology gets refined enough, and plus in a handheld form, it's like that's also a game changer, because you can't reach those really high brights on an OLED. Not without
Well, think about
like
the thing about OLED is because it's
LCD is no LED. Like,
newer.
LCD, LED,
Yeah,
it's the same thing we're running.
Everyone thinks, like, because it's OLED, that's the next step above it, and everything else is below it. But it's not. Like, LED and LCD, like, there's some, especially the mini LED. Like, this thing's. That's why everyone's like, "Oh, well, the Steam Deck." I'm like, I'm not even gonna compare the two. You can just, like, shut up about it. Like, I'm not gonna go into the tech side of everything on it.
Well, because the thing is, I looked at the PlayStation. I looked at the PlayStation Portal screen that they have on there, because I'm just like, that's a really good screen that they have on there. That's much better than my second gen Switch that I have. And that one's only a 60 hertz screen. It doesn't run HDR or anything like that. And I thought it looked fantastic. So I'm just like imagining 120 hertz HDR just right there natively on the screen. I'm just like, that is a really good screen.
Mhm.
Like, they've made like evolutions to your standard LED screens.
Yeah.
So besides, so look, this is the thing. I think too many people got used to Nintendo not chasing specs, that they can't believe that Nintendo's chasing specs.
Mhm.
and it's
Because that's the thing.
timing too.
It's
With everything we've seen from Nintendo, and the thing is, like, you got to remember, for those that don't understand, it's like Nintendo's got a new president. He took over right after the Switch came out, because Satoru Iwata passed away. We had an interim president, Kimishima, for like a little bit, and then Furukawa took over. And one of the first things that he said was that he missed the days in which Nintendo actually chased power. And it shows here that that's exactly what he's going for. It's like, we've got Nintendo chasing power again, and people are like, but we're used to Nintendo being the cheap system. Like, well, they chased power this time, so you're going to get a system that actually packs a good punch. So even people that's got a Steam Deck says this actually runs some of these third-party games much better than it does on the Steam Deck. And that's a system that's like twice the price.
Dang.
For now. It could end up being the same price. We don't know. So it's like, yeah. So 450, I was like completely fine on. Now the thing that has people confused is the price of the games.
Yeah.
So all right. I can see DK being $70, and I can justify the Switch enhanced games also being the prices that they are. And the thing is, some people are like, no, those are old games. Why? It's like, because it's the price of the game on the Switch plus their $10 upgrade fee. Like, people forget, like, we've been doing upgrade fees for a while. Like, PS3 to PS4 had a $10 upgrade fee. PS4 to PS5 had like a $10 upgrade fee. Like, if you had them, like, you just would pay that upgrade fee. And then the other thing that people forget is if you have Nintendo Switch Online, you get those upgrades for free.
Oh yeah. So I don't have to go out and buy the
that's what I'm
Nintendo
saying.
Switch.
Yeah, exactly. If you already have the Switch games, you just download the upgrades for free. So I'm like, why are y'all complaining? Like, I'm betting you're going to probably play like Mario Kart online. You're going to need an online membership so you can get all those Switch upgrades for free.
Now, they haven't been clear on this, and maybe I missed it. Is there going to be another expansion tier, or is if you have like the Nintendo 64 expansion?
The regular expansion pass will include the GameCube games.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
And they did not say anything about increasing the price tag either, which is what other people were thinking that they were going to do when they included GameCube games.
I get to play Pokemon XD and Coliseum for the first time. I've never played those.
XD is so good.
Well, I played XD.
I never played XD.
It felt really slow. I
played the fuck out of Coliseum. Never played XD.
Yeah, I tried emulating XD.
I still have my copy. It's you'll like it when it's on there. Like, XD is so outside the norm compared to regular Pokemon games. Like, that's when I was starting to really realize, like, we don't need the generic Pokemon. Give us more of these type of Pokemon games, like, please.
And the thing is, so the system does actually support DLSS and ray tracing. They did confirm that in the developer interview. Like the day of the direct, they had a roundtable sit down, and they did say, yes, it does have all of these enabled. It's up to the developers whether or not they want to use it, and they actually are using it for like their virtual console games. So the GameCube games will actually run much better. Mm-hmm. So I'm excited to play, especially since F-Zero GX is getting online support on the GameCube. So good. So it's like, it's like we got a system that's chasing down the tech specs because it's like Metroid Prime 4 has an option for 120 like FPS mode.
That's crazy.
Exactly. I'm just like, love it. It's like some of these, even the PS5 struggles at 60 FPS, but apparently like most of the games on the Switch 2 will be running at 60 frames per second at 4K or 1080p at 120 if the developer chooses to have that kind of thing on there. So I'm just like, man, I'm glad I've got a TV that supports a variable refresh rate, because that's another thing. My OLEDs that I have don't support that, because that's older tech. But VRR is something that it's in some newer TVs. You just got to double check. And it might be restricted to a singular HDMI port on your TV if you have it. So word to the wise for those wondering. You might only have one HDMI port that actually supports that if you've got a TV that supports it, because that's what made them go cheaper on it. But then the elephant in the room is Mario Kart World. Which
Australian dollars.
Which I saw it, and the second I was like, they're pulling a Forza Horizon, aren't they? And they were indeed pulling a Forza Horizon with Mario Kart. And I'm just like, yeah, this is definitely a game that wouldn't run on the Switch. Which people are like, no, but it looks like a Switch game. What are you talking about? Look at everything you can do in it. The Switch could not handle this kind of shit. It would take a lot of optimization just to do it, and it's definitely not gonna run at this kind of FPS plus the resolution. But yes, it is $80 for that one game, unless you got the Switch bundle that is $500 for now.
Yeah, for now.
Which means it's like, okay, so if it's just $30 less to just get it as a pack in. Like, why is it so high?
It's
I
also,
didn't get the
don't forget,
bundle.
it's only for the digital version. Like you can only get the digital version for 30.
Well, so that's another thing is apparently a lot of the digital versions for their games are $10 cheaper than their physical release. And I get that because once again, tariffs and inflation, if you're producing the plastic, like Japan, they produce a lot of the Switch cartridges in Japan themselves. And so of course you've got your motherboard, and then you got your actual plastic for it, which has that nice coating to make you not want to keep it in your mouth.
Yes,
then
that's what I'm curious about. Why is it 90 physical? All right. If it's 90 physical, fine. But like, if you're getting
it's 90 physical in Europe.
Yeah.
Right. But
Yeah, so that's the thing. It's like I saw a lot of clickbait Switch 2 things talking about $90 games. And it's just like, no, it's 90 euros, 80 USD.
That's what I was like. I don't know where everyone got that from because I was like, no, I don't see anywhere where it's.
Yeah, they were going off of the initial screenshot that we had that was literally in euros. It's like, yeah, the euros are always more expensive than the dollar. So it's like,
I know.
Yeah,
probably Australian as well. What I'm just saying is like, obviously they're setting 80 as like the new, like potentially the new norm, right? I don't think that like that's like still justifiable. Like that's incredibly expensive for just one game.
Cloudy, you know about inflation, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so
It's fake.
tell me, if I spent $50 on a game in 2005, how much would that game cost today? Because that was the average price of video games in 2005.
Also,
50.
on the Super Nintendo back in the day was like what 85.
True, but that's because of like cartridges also super expensive. They're massive. Like,
Yeah, and there's yeah.
Yeah, but I'm talking 2005. We had CDs, we had
Yes.
DVDs.
No, CVDs and DVDs. That's what brought the prices down. Like when PlayStation.
Yeah, but they were $50 in 2005. How much has inflation affected things since 2005? How much would something that was $50 in 2005 cost today?
And I hate when people use inflation argument because that's not even real.
Okay.
Yes, but the thing about inflation is once the prices go up,
yeah, okay.
It's like even if inflation goes down, the prices don't go down.
Sure.
Because people just accept the new norm.
Exactly, that's my point. I'm saying if you're going to allow this to be the new president...
The only time this actually ever happened and we actually got a reduction in price of things was in the 90s.
Yeah.
Because in the 90s, we were paying $90 for video games.
I'm aware. And then they made them cheaper.
That's why Blockbuster was so big, because ain't nobody going to spend that kind of money on video games.
No, I know. They rented them instead. What I'm saying is, like, I just don't think, like, we should be stepping in the direction of allowing, like, a company to charge that much for a game. Because it's just going to be, like, GTA, 6, right? Like, that's the big, like...
That's the one that people were expecting to be the first like $80 or $90
$100 like $100 fucking bucks, and you know,
and then Nintendo was just like, we're just gonna do it first.
The thing is, that game is gonna be $100.
Look at the collector's edition stuff, though.
Like people will justify that.
Dude, I barely spend under that much on like Ash will know because he's a fan. I bought the Bloodline edition of WWE 2K25.
Nice.
That shit was like 130. Like. If there's a game, if
people's money,
if someone likes it enough, if someone likes the game enough, they'll spend the price for it. You know, plus it's Mario Kart. You know how much replay value you're gonna get a fucking.
Just because you didn't do it, since I did the inflation calculator here, just $49.99 2005, 20 years ago, would be the equivalent of $81.67 today.
That's not that bad. It's not that much.
Really not.
What game though? Is the game worth it? Like, what game was it though? Like, what game are you thinking would be big?
No, the thing is, it's like back in 2005, every game was $50. That was our base price tag. Then the generation afterwards was when we jumped up to
some
60.
Games I wouldn't. Well, there's games I wouldn't pay that much for, whereas there's games I would because it's a preference choice. Like if you don't want to play Mario Kart, I can see how it's not appealing. Like the Mario Party thing appeals to me. Whatever the price tag is on that, I'll get it.
All right, well, let me break my VTuber model real quick as I grab all of my GameCube games that I spent $50 on back in the day.
I don't remember how much I spent on stuff.
You
I
mean
need that count.
your mom spent $50 back on in the day, or?
Oh, you said you're a baby back then. You merely adopted the debt. I was born in it. I think I was a sophomore in college back then. Yeah, I was a sophomore in college.
Like, I get people are gonna be like, it's $80. It's only like $10. Dude,
The same people
no,
complaining
they're fine.
are the same people who are going to pay for it. So I mean,
here's the thing. I'm not gonna. I don't buy that often, like Nintendo games especially.
I thought you said you don't buy stuff in general that often. Like bullshit.
No, I buy stuff. I'm just like, I'm not a huge like on Nintendo gamer. Like the last time I bought a Mario game, that was ages ago.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't buy
to
a
be
lot of
fair,
Switch games.
some of these games are trash. I forgot I bought some of these games. They've literally just been on the shelf.
He bought these at full price when they came out.
$50.
Not all of them. There was like a couple.
Yeah, $50 each one, right?
If you don't
I
have
will say-
WWE Day of Reckoning and Day of Reckoning 2, your collection's trash. I'm just saying.
I don't. So I will say, I got Tales of Symphonia from Kmart when they clearanced it out for $20.
Oh, I missed Kmart when they closed down.
Oh, I remember Kmart. They were great.
When
All right,
Ames
so
was
is it-
closing down, I got Suikoden for $9.
So in no particular order, I've got a Mega Man Network Transmission. This was the one Battle Network game that people forget existed because it was on GameCube. It's also the one that brought us the Zero virus. So the version of Zero on the Battle Network series. So that one was $50. Was it worth it? Yes, I would say so. Star Fox Adventures. Definitely worth it. Soul Calibur 2 featuring Link. Absolutely worth it.
That's worth it, 100%.
F-Zero GX. Worth it. Super Monkey Ball, no. Mario Power Tennis, nah. Custom Robo, bring it back. Bring it back. All right. Here's one I bet some people didn't even know existed. Dance Dance Revolution Mario Mix. With the dance pad. The original Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles. Melee. Obviously, gotta have Smash Brothers Melee. Bloody Roar Primal Fury. Bring it back. Donkey Kong Jungle Beat had the bongos. Baten Kaitos 1 and 2 Origins. Pokemon Coliseum. Bomberman Jetters. You know what? I actually had fun with Bomberman Jetters. I'm not even going to front. That was a fun game. Good single
This is
player
2005,
campaign, too.
right? I think that's when I worked at GameStop. It is. Yeah, I worked at GameStop at that time.
Naruto Clash of Ninja. And that's all the GameCube games I currently have, because I did have others, but I traded those in or let a friend borrow them, and then they moved away, like my Skies of Arcadia and my Wind Waker. And I'm still mad about both of those. You know what I hate? They moved away, but they were still in the same town. They just never gave me the new address or bothered. And I'm just like, I swear, it's been like 25 years. I see you.
Like, you know what I want?
Even my Skies of Arcadia. I never beat Skies of Arcadia. I was literally on the final part of that game. But yeah, look for that. It's like I'm not too worried about it. I was ready to spend the $500 for the Switch 2. The only thing I was disappointed by was the lack of a lot of first-party titles, because really, for the launch lineup, I'm probably just going to pick up Mario Kart, and that's like it.
I'm going
and a Pro Controller.
No, I picked up Mario Kart and Bravely Default. Even though I just found out it's the code, not the actual physical cartridge. But hey, I get to play Bravely Default again.
I mean, I got the collectors of Bravely Default back in the day. I think I'm good on that one. I'm not like I don't have like the nostalgia goggles to be like, oh yeah, I got to play this again.
Yeah,
but Mario Kart is like essential. So I'm just
Oh,
like,
yeah.
yeah,
Oh, no, 100%.
I think that I do think that's part of the reason why they raised it to $80. Like, not besides inflation and shit like that. I really think it's just like they sell it at 80 because they know they can.
Yeah, and people will buy it. That's the thing is like we always say, like, you talk with your wallet and it's like, well, we're gonna get it. Like, I'm sorry, like I'm gonna get it. Like, I'm gonna get Mario Kart. Donkey Kong, I'm like on the fence of, because like I prefer old school side scrolling Donkey Kong games.
Have you seen the treehouse shit?
Yeah.
So the big thing about Donkey Kong that I'm excited about it, and they said the reason why this couldn't be made on the Switch was because everything in the world is destructible.
Yeah, it's insane. And there's some side scrolling levels, and there's like 3, which is cool. So it's like that's the ones I'm gonna wait until like I see more like gameplay more once it's out and people playing it. Then I'll be like, all right, I'll get it. I do kind of want drag cross drive though. That looks like
wheelchair Rocket League.
Yeah, everyone's like, oh my god, what's this? But people don't realize like how like big the Paralympics are in Japan and stuff like that. Like, we got a whole Toku show about it. So people are like, oh, this is like a DEI game. That's I'm like, no, it's not pandering.
I haven't heard that argument. It's funny. Sounds like
I was like, no, this is actually like the Paralympics are big in Japan. Like, it's a thing. Like, remember, Nintendo's from Japan, you guys. But then, things like Cyberpunk, I don't care about. Like, I can run that on my PC, like full. But Final Fantasy 7 remake on the portable, like that's a steal for me.
Yeah, I might have to double dip on that one. The thing is, for the
Yakuza on the go, like
they're adding new cutscenes. Apparently, brand new cutscenes that were never there.
And a dub.
I don't care about that. I'm not gonna play that shit.
No, I don't want to play a dub. But yeah.
And then like things like Project 00, because I had notes, because I actually have a podcast episode I got to edit after this to put up. Like, and then like Project 00, I'm hoping it's just GoldenEye, but like fully like remake, not like that other weird 007 they try to just the original GoldenEye, just full remake. That's all. Nothing else changed besides the graphics. But there's like a lot of stuff I don't like. I'm like the Daemon X Machina,
I'm excited for that one.
Cool. That looks great. Like, so there's a lot of stuff like third party and like this and that that's not just first. But then I'm like, this stuff's good. Like, why? Like, because there's a lot of stuff that was like glossed over, like things like Wild Hearts, which is a lot of fun. Like, for me,
Silk Song was in there finally for folks that have been waiting, and it was sizzle reel.
Yeah,
for 3 seconds.
And
then we got another AI, the Somnium Files, which a lot of people sleep on that franchise. We're gonna get the V2K. Like, my thing is, for the third party standpoint, it's like, okay, what are these games that I want strictly for the fact that I can play them on the go?
The thing is that they, at least for the third party games, like this is one of the first times that I've actually seen third party games on a Nintendo platform in a while, and I'm like, that actually looks good. Because they were playing Street Fighter on the Treehouse earlier today, and I was like, that is legit.
Yeah, and we're getting a GameCube controller, which I need. But no, there's even things like I'm not a big fan of like the Souls games, but I like the Dusk Bloods. I can see how that's like a big deal and a Switch exclusive. So it's like there's a lot of like they have a lot of stuff, and I get, like I said, most of the stuff is just be like, okay, being able to play these on the go, because you can have a Steam Deck, but like that they're not as expensive as they were, but if you want to, you can play Switch games on it. You can emulate stuff on it too. But it's like a lot of those games need patches to work on the Steam Deck. And there's more games that can, but it's like you're not getting the Nintendo supported stuff. It's as much as emulation's nice and this and that. Like, I like actually getting official shit,
because at least it's going to guaranteed work on what you're playing it on. Yeah,
like you there's always going to be something wonky. Like, for example, like I have a PS2 still. I have the Metal Gear Solid 4, PS3, this and that. And while I do have my PS2 games like Xenosaga, this and that, I tried playing them on my PC, and it just felt different. It didn't feel the same. It felt off. Something seemed off about it, like the frames and this and that. And I'm like, I'd rather just hook up my PS2. But there's a lot of good shit that's coming out with this, and I'm generally shocked, and it makes sense because they need, like, we're getting Elden Ring on there for the Tarnished Edition, like and Hogwarts Legacy, like it makes sense that we would get all these third party, because Nintendo needs the third party to bring in the people that are like, oh, it's basically to shut up the people that, like, Nintendo just makes consoles for like kids. And I know that's not the case, but there are other people out there that say, oh, well, Mario games, isn't that? That's all they have. Now they're like,
well, the issue with the original Switch was obviously they were coming off the Wii U, so it didn't have, like, it had the most bare bones launch ever, because like no one had any faith in it. Then it took third parties a while to actually go ahead and commit to it. And even then, they were doing half-ass versions, kind of like what they were doing on the Wii U by the end of its life cycle as well. But the thing is, just like we know other things are going to end up coming to it. So I'm expecting another direct before launch. It's probably going to expound on some more of that shit anyway, because they spent so much time talking about the hardware in such a terrible way.
So even though there's no E3, the Summer Game Festival is usually in June.
Yeah, but Nintendo,
like the second week.
Nintendo goes to the beat of their own drum, so...
Well, no, I'm just saying, because all the like PlayStation, Xbox, they're probably gonna have their summer game stuff there. And since the Switch 2 comes out on June 5th, I could see them sneakily like just doing a Nintendo Direct, going over the rest of the year stuff that's coming out, or being like, okay, we showed you third party and all these studios that are partnered with us. Now let's tell you what we got for you.
Because that is my biggest pain point from the Direct is like, yeah, there's a surprising lack of first-party titles, and usually for Nintendo, it's like so it felt more like a partner showcase than your typical Nintendo Direct.
Yeah, no, it definitely did. But there's a lot of IPs that usually are just on the Switch and like Nintendo stuff, like the AI Somnia files, things like what's that other one, like Bravely Default, stuff like that is usually just on Nintendo stuff. Like Story Seasons gets other ones, but most of them are played on Nintendo. But I could see, I don't know, it's just weird because like there's a lot of stuff that is like Nintendo exclusives that aren't made in-house for IPs. So it's like I think there was a good balance with what we got, and that's a big catalog right off the bat that's going to be available this year.
The thing is, like, the catalog that they've brought out is good for someone that's only played exclusively on Nintendo platforms. But for those that actually have more than one platform, that's where it starts getting a little bit more, because that's why I'm like, yeah, there's nothing here for me besides like their first party offerings, because most of these third party releases, the ones that I've wanted, I've already gotten. The ones that I held off on are the newer releases because I thought there would be a Switch 2 version. So I didn't get Assassin's Creed. I didn't get a Monster Hunter because I thought there would be Switch 2 versions, but I didn't get that with this one.
They announced it later down the line if you're...
I mean, hopefully they announce it down the line, because it's like, well, that, and also like the fact that we know in the source code for Xenoblade Chronicles X, there's a hidden 60 FPS mode, but it's not listed on their website as one of those games getting an update. I'm just like, what do you mean?
Well, I think they might say in the Treehouse, because they said they're gonna they have more.
No, the Treehouse is done.
Out. Well, I meant down the road too, like because they said there's more games down the road they're gonna talk about with that. So I think they had to hit the big one. They had to hit the big heavy hitters. Plus, the game Xenoblade just came out. You're not gonna be like, hey, by the way, we're gonna have like a pad for it, because people will be like, oh, well, I'll hold off and wait and get it when the Switch 2 comes out. They want those Xenoblades, because the main thing was like Legend of Zelda, like showing those games with the upgrade packs, like that was more than enough, because I'm glad now I never played them, because I'm gonna play the shit out of them on
well, and that's another thing as well. I feel because obviously the stream for the Direct froze at one point, was off sync with audio. They rewound it, and then when the stream was over, they privatized the video so they can re-upload it not fucked up. So people trying to go back to check out the footage was just like, what was this not working? But they individually actually uploaded up the trailers for a lot of the things. And obviously, if you go into your YouTube settings and set it to 4K 60, you could check out that a lot of those games look damn good. Because the way that they look like in that stream didn't look good. If you look at the videos that they uploaded afterwards and run them at 4K 60, if your computer can handle it, I was just like, this is great. And for those that apparently went to the Switch 2 events, they were like, yeah, even the streams didn't do it justice, because apparently when they saw like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom running natively on a Switch 2, they were like, this is how I always dreamed this game would look like.
No, I know. Like I said, I know a couple people who were in New York checking that stuff out, and they were just like, "Yeah, you're gonna like when the Switch 2 drops." Like they were already like sold on wanting it, but then after hands-on in person seeing everything, they're like, they don't even care about the price. Like they're like, "Yeah, no, it's needed." I just hope we get more, and I feel like the Virtual Console, I know they're adding GameCube, but I feel like they missed opportunity for them to be like expand on it, because I feel like we're missing so much shit from that. Like I need Game Boy, like DS stuff on there. Like I was hoping we were gonna get like a Pokemon pack like they did with like Yu-Gi-Oh! And like they did with Metabots in Japan. Like I was like, man, I just need a Pokemon collection, honestly. And mainly just Conquest.
I think because one of the things that got rumored was obviously some sort of dual screen functionality, but we didn't really get that. But the thing is, we kind of know that the Switch 2 is capable of doing dual screen gaming, because they did showcase off that there is screen sharing capabilities that the Switch 2 can have with certain games, where it will literally stream the game via the one cartridge to a Switch 2 or even a regular Switch, and there could be multiplayer options done by that locally, not online, just locally. But I'm just like, well, there's a lot of people that have regular Switches, and if they want people to keep their Switches, then maybe they can just stream directly from the Switch 2 to the Switch and use that as your second screen for some DS games, which could be something that comes down the line.
Which is very viable, because you can do that with the PS5. You can stream your PS5 to your PS4. Because I do that in the bedroom. I have the PS4 hooked up to the TV, and then I just stream my PS5 to the PS4.
But the thing is, it's like, are they running two different things on their screens?
I haven't tried it.
So that's the thing. It's like, that's where I think that would be the biggest game changer, because that's essentially what the Switch 2 is doing. Is it's giving someone else another version of the same game, so they're doing something different on their screen versus yours, but it's the same game. So that would technically allow for dual screen gaming, and it's a feature that I think a lot of people aren't really talking about, because they thought that C button was going to do that, but instead it's just Discord. But hey, it's there. I love how Cloudy was really looking forward to this particular conversation, and he's been muted this entire time.
Right.
Devastating. So, obviously, Australia wasn't affected by the price. What's the price tag of the Switch 2 over there?
I can pull it up now. Just let me close a few tabs. Okay, so Switch, and I've got mine pre-ordered, so I can show you mine. So give me one moment. These is dollary dues if people freak out. Screen. Okay, go on to the classic EB games.
Y'all have an EB game still?
Yeah.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's owned by GameStop. I mean, they just only shut down the US locations, and some of them merged.
So here's all the pricings in Australia. The base one is 700.
That US, or is that like?
No, that's Australian dollars. I need to see the conversion rate of what that actually is. So let me see. 769 is the equivalent of $464 in the US.
Yep. So.
Ash.
Wait, but that's the one that has the Mario Kart bundle.
Yeah,
so it's actually cheaper.
We have to have a conversation, Ash.
What kind of conversation? I'm scared.
Kind of conversation where you get a lucrative.
Will the Switch be Australian region lock though? Did that even matter?
No.
I speak Australian.
The region locking is only for the Japanese exclusive system that they released.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the thing is, it's like there's some people raising a stink that Japan's getting a Switch 2 model that's like $150 cheaper conversion rate wise compared to what we're getting in the US. And part of the reason is that so the yen is weak right now, and Japan set up some sort of a tax incentive for people to release stuff in their country that is exclusive to pretty much the Japanese audience. So that is why there is a Switch 2 that's being released exclusively in Japan that is indeed region locked. There is no language options whatsoever, and it is cheap. So for any foreigners that are currently living or residing in Japan, apparently a lot of them are pissed because they're like, but
English mode?
Yeah, exactly. Zero English mode. It's like, well, it's like if your currency is cheap and is weak, and your country tries to incentivize reasons for y'all to grow your economy, then this kind of makes sense. But there is a regular Switch 2 that is available in Japan as well that is godly expensive for them as well.
That's what I pre-ordered. I pre-ordered the regular one. I had to hide my screen, so I nearly made my phone number pop up on the screen for a brief moment.
I'm just happy they fixed the Joy-Con drift issue.
Well, we don't know if they did or not, but they definitely probably did.
No, they did. The new joysticks, they're...
well, no. The reason why is because they're still under civil litigation regarding the Joy-Con drift situation. So they obviously wouldn't want to make anything that is still, partial to that court case.
I guess what I was just saying is that because of the method that they use to make the new, actual sticks, they flow independently of the actual locking mechanism, so it would be really hard for them to drift at this point.
Yeah, and these are the game prices in Australia as well.
Basically, new sticks are better.
Okay, essentially your games are also cheaper as well, because Donkey Kong would be the equivalent of $66 in the US, so they're like $5 cheaper.
Boom! I found a seller in Australia. Sorry, I was doing research. You don't like paying full price.
Ooh.
Tariffs be
Ash, don't be his plug.
A terrific day.
Don't do it.
It's not Ash.
Do what?
It's not Ash because I don't know how they limit purchases there through EB Games.
EB Games is one per customer.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I found a proxy customer there.
So you found you're a plug in Australia. Nice.
I think the biggest issue that we're going to have here is obviously pre-orders were supposed to go live on the 9th, and Nintendo put out a statement saying until they analyze how tariffs are going to affect them, then pre-orders are currently on hold, potentially up until May 8th.
Oof.
But the release date has not changed.
Yep, I saw that.
So yeah, that's the big thing is we don't know what the price is going to be, and for that entire tariff list that I pulled up earlier, the Switch 2s are produced in Vietnam, and Vietnam got hit with the hardest tariffs for no goddamn reasons. They got the 46% rate.
It seemed personal. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, if you go back in time a little bit, it got maybe.
Yeah.
There's a reason.
It was
It's like, damn, what did Vietnam do for you? And the thing is, it's not just obviously people that are big into the electronic scene with this. It's also sneakerheads because a lot of sneakers get made.
So does a lot
in Vietnam.
Which sucks for me because I love coffee.
It's like a 46%. Apparently, we were already charging them high tariffs already. So the 46% actually raised it up to a 90-something% total tariff. Yes.
100% tariffs. Not even.
Yes.
This is insane.
Because these are reciprocal tariffs, so they're kind of payback tariffs. They're like, oh, so you're charging us this much? Well, we're just going to charge you this much.
I'm not gonna lie, I can't wait for these tariffs to go extinct. I hope they do at some point. Jesus Christ. It's just a shitty idea.
It's like I was saying on the Discord server earlier. This is how Star Wars started. People forget, like the prequel trilogy. We were all laughing back then. Like once the honeymoon phase ended, we were like, why were we hyping up about a movie about trade wars? There's no way anything like that will ever happen in the real world. People are too smart to do shit like this.
Trade wars have like existed for ages.
I mean, trade wars of this length, like that. I mean, that's how the first Galactic Empire was made. It was by the trade wars, and they're like, yeah, no, this is dumb. It's just political trade wars nonsense. Ain't no way that's gonna happen in real life. George Lucas was a prophet. Those that prequel trilogy aged like fine wine. Actually, not fine wine. Forbidden wine you shouldn't have.
Not gonna lie, I feel justified. I was one of the few people who actually enjoyed the prequel series, and I was okay tonight to like them, which is so weird.
No, I like them as well.
So it's because the sequels suck so much.
Is that it? Just whether something that worse comes out?
Yes, everything that's new sucks, and people go back. They gravitate towards the old shit to see that it's better. It's like video games nowadays. Most of the new video games coming out suck. So people have been gravitating towards older game and just being like, hey.
Speak for yourself. Like, you've been playing Xenoblade all day.
Yeah, what are you talking about? That's a 12-year-old game.
Yeah, but it's new and it's
not new. It's like it's literally an old game with fancy new graphics and it runs smooth.
I could get to level 99, Zio. I couldn't do that before.
It's true.
Exactly. They did some quality of life improvements, but it's still at the base level an old ass game.
It's true.
I didn't have kids when this game first came out. Now I do. That makes it an old ass game.
Kids, plural? What?
Well, not a kid, but still.
I was about to say. I was like, what?
I didn't have one when it originally came out, and I still don't. It's not an old ass game.
But you can run for president now. You couldn't back then.
No, I still can't run for president. I'll never be able to.
Well, no one's talking to you, Cloud. We're talking about me. Right?
Yeah, we're talking about citizens. I mean, I can run for president as long as my island still remains a part of the U.S.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, as long as I am president, it will remain a part of the U.S. And I may add some new ones too.
I am a U.S. citizen. I'm not U.S. born, which is the difference. You have to be a U.S. born citizen. So it wouldn't matter if you're a citizen or not. If you weren't born in the U.S., you cannot be president.
Damn. Ash, I clicked that link and I instantly started crying at the price when it translated over to mine. I was like, that is.
I feel like.
Oh, actually, I find this point in the tariff talk actually very interesting. Vietnamese here, the problem with our tariffs is due to, I guess, us not importing U.S. goods as much as they have imported ours. But some major is the Chinese owners use our manufacturing facilities to avoid laws. Actually, a lot of companies, including the U.S., also use Vietnam to produce things to avoid costs, because that's the thing. It's like labor is cheap over there.
Yeah.
And you already have the plant set up. So why not? Because iPhones get produced in Vietnam.
That's impressive if like China's even outsourcing their cheap labor to some place where it's even cheaper.
I mean, if you can, why not? Like I would if I had a business.
Because the thing is, it's like, so I guess to get into the nitty gritty on why this, the point of this is to get these kinds of jobs in the U.S. But what Vietnam currently does in terms of production of electronics, the U.S. just can't do.
Well, the U.S. doesn't have the ability to make the actual parts themselves, which would have to be shipped from other places.
And then the other part is the workforce needed for it, because Vietnam does have fairly cheap labor for what they're producing. And like I said earlier, the U.S. just got rid of the majority of their cheap labor.
Also, they have very relaxed labor laws in Vietnam as compared to the very strict labor laws in the U.S.
And of course, it's like they say they want to bring these here to the U.S. And it's just like, okay, so you're going to pay these people a livable wage, right? And they're like, no. And it's like, well, then you got to work on your actual labor laws then. And they don't want to touch that. So this is going to end up in nothing besides essentially maybe a negotiated
Eggs
tactic.
cost $22. I'm pissed. Why?
I just
Oh,
want
are
to know
eggs
when.
cheaper down
I just want to know the Switch 2 price, honestly, and I want to know from a toy import. Like, I'm sorry, but like, okay, Cloudy knows this because a lot of our Toku stuff is big ticket items. Can you imagine an extra 20% thrown on top of those?
I would actually feel it.
I threw up.
Well,
I
actually,
threw up a little bit. Honestly, I did because I'm getting stuff monthly between the candy toys. Because in the most recent candy toy blog post for Super Sentai with the Gozuja Yudos, they even said, due to rising costs and this and that, they had to raise the Yudo prices from, I believe it was just under 500 yen to close to 600 yen, which, an 85 to 90 yen increase doesn't seem like much for us, but that's per box. And for how their cost of living, that's actually a big increase.
I'm just saying
So
it's
I mean, this affects a lot of things because the thing is, I'm a big TV person, and I'm like, man, the price of TVs, even good TVs, got relatively cheap the last few years. Now that's going up.
how many fucking
glad I got my
TVs do
TV
you
when I
have?
did.
I was about to get 9, but now I'm gonna hold off a little bit. But I've got 9 TVs in my house.
Are you having a toilet Dreamcast set up like I do?
Well, the thing is,
in your kitchen for
the TV in the kitchen's the next purchase that I've got lined up.
the fuck.
I got the
essentially, after I get the kitchen lined up, then I've got a couple of rooms that have 2 TVs, like my office space included, because obviously people see that small TV in the background. But then I've also got the 65-inch in like the front end that you can see in some videos. But even then,
How many do you have in your personal bedroom?
just the one.
Okay.
Rookies.
But it's a 65-inch OLED
All right.
with a full surround sound.
I assume the kid has one, and then you have one in your living room.
Obviously, yes. That one's got the Dolby Atmos setup.
Okay.
Oof.
Then I've got I've got one in my bar. Right behind the bar too. It usually runs like the fireplace shit, like nice atmospheric shit.
Set the mood.
Yeah. Yep.
I
Yep.
get it.
Spare bedroom has a TV as well. My wife's office space has another TV in there as well, along with her computer monitors.
So many screens in your house.
Yeah, I mean,
There's not enough.
Yeah, you always need more.
Okay, you do you.
Ooh, the Hyper Battle DVD came out for Comrade. I'm gonna have to order that so I can get that Gochizo.
I can't wait for those Hyper Battle DVD prices to go up. Ooh.
So,
They already are. Dude, it's $70 already for the Gochizo with the.
I was about to say we passed the 3-hour mark, but we actually didn't because we started late.
No.
Yeah.
So I guess
wait up, Cloudy.
No, you didn't.
What,
We did.
do some bets. What is going to be the USD price tag on the Switch 2 at launch now that they are reconsidering? Give me the price of base unit and Mario Kart unit.
What is it now? Like
It's
450 and 500.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it'll go. I think the combo will go to 550 or 570. And then the base one will go to 500 maybe or 490.
That's lowballing it.
Well, there'll be a $50.
I don't know my American dollars.
Oh, to be fair to Ash, there'll be a $50 differential no matter what, because I assume they want to sell the aspect of you're saving $30 by getting this bundle. So so basically it's just whatever the base price is, and then add $50 to whatever you think the new base price will be.
So the thing is, it's like Nintendo is one of those companies that they're not a loss leader. They don't sell their systems at a loss, but they usually, even when they're making money, it's not a lot, because even at $350, the OLED model for the Switch only gets them $40 in profit, and apparently the manufacturing cost of that was an additional $10 on top of the base Switch. So they were still like, not making money a lot on the base Switch because of everything going on. And then because of this screen and everything on there, I'm like, they're probably still only making out the gate maybe like a $10 to $20 profit on the Switch 2 at $450. Obviously with the Mario Kart pack, and the big thing, they're not producing a cartridge for it, so digital media is not going to be affected by tariffs. That's digital media.
No. Yeah.
Well, you say that.
It's digital goods.
Yeah, digital goods are. But then again, toys and again,
They'll still find a way.
But yeah, well, they'd have to rewrite how they do a lot of. I mean, digital goods are subject to tax on a state-by-state basis.
Yes,
but when it comes to digital media in general, the pricing in itself is still subject to the manufacturer.
And you're not importing a digital game.
Yes.
Honestly, you know what? I'm gonna be optimistic. I'm gonna say it's either the price is either gonna stay the same, or it's gonna go up to $4.99 base, $5.49 with the Mario Kart bundle. I think only a $50 increase, because the downside is, like, as people will buy this regardless, but there's that whole thing where, like, Nintendo isn't Sony or Microsoft. Nintendo kind of takes care of their diehard, their fans. I don't think they would gouge it, like, and be like, all right, now it's going up to like 600 or 7, because it's like, at the end of the day, they still have to compete with something like the PlayStation. Like, if that thing costs more than a PlayStation with a 5 with a PlayStation Portal, I'm sorry, like, nah, because I can go.
Well, here's the other thing.
Portal, you can play when you're not home as long as you're just on any like internet network.
We don't know if Sony is going to end up, or Microsoft is going to end. Well, Microsoft definitely probably not. But if Sony's going to end up raising the price, because the thing is, a few years back, Sony did raise the price overseas on the PS5 for inflation reasons. And then now, because of tariffs, depending on where they're manufacturing their PS5s, they might have to raise their prices.
Yeah. My thing is also, it's like one of those things where it's like the PS5 has been out so long, you could just get it used somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, no one's really, I don't see a lot of people be like, oh my God, I finally got a brand new PS5. Like, it's like, I think depending on the time frame that they want to do the if the PS6 came out in like 2 years from now, and the administration was still doing what they're doing, I could see the PS6 being like ridiculously expensive. But at the same time, from a on the shelf right now standpoint, you could go to PlayStation 5 and a PlayStation 5 in a Portal, and as long as you're anywhere on Wi-Fi, you could still have access to your PS5 from the Portal. And I've tested it out, and it works pretty smoothly, even tethered to the phone. So I wouldn't pay more than $6 or $6.50 for it. So that's why I'm saying, okay, either the price is going to stay the same, or base is going to be $4.99, $5.49 for the Mario Kart bundle.
I think it'll stay the same personally, just because I don't know. I just have a weird feeling about that. But
it's like, if there's another company like a Microsoft or a Sony, I could see them being like, all right, we got to raise the price. But like, I don't know, in the back of my head, I always like had that comfort for Nintendo. Like, Nintendo's wholesome. They care about me, like the cool neighbor.
I think the wild card when it comes to Nintendo is the new president. And I say new, he's been the president for 5 years. Yeah. But the thing is, this is his first console launch as president. And he might have a different mindset than Iwata, because Iwata was the kind of president that when everyone else was raising their entire, like,
everything.
Their salary, he personally took a salary cut to make sure he could retain his employees. Yeah. Like, you only get a president like that, like maybe once or twice in a lifetime. And I'm not sure. Yeah. I'm not sure this guy's it. Like, Iwata was a patron saint.
Yeah. And that's the thing too, is also it is his first console. So like, this is a big deal. And
that's why he held off a year to actually bring this out. If this released a year ago, we wouldn't have this conversation, right? Because we wouldn't be dealing with tariff talk.
I think the current price of the Switch is fair anyway. Like, I feel like if this price for the Switch was
no. Don't get me wrong. I also agree. This is the good price tag.
No. What I'm saying is, even a year ago, if this price came out for the Switch, I would have been like, yeah, that's fine. That seems about correct. I wouldn't care. Like, I don't think like the price for the Switch is the issue at hand. Like that's not a thing that I think we should be concerned about.
Well, it's about to be.
Well, I guess unless you're Mark and you're his Australian plug or whatever.
Well, I'm saying the price is going to be an issue regardless. Like that's not.
I mean, I was expecting to spend more money on the launch, but given the amount of games that they showed me, that I was gonna, I was expecting on spending $1,000 at launch. But
Really? Oof.
yes.
I
But
was
given
gonna go
that,
up 7.
well, what they were showing off, I was just like, well, I'm just gonna get the Mario Kart bundle and a Pro controller, and that's it. So I'm like, oh, okay, all right, that's cool.
The other thing,
I just thought they were gonna have more games at launch than what they offer. At least more games that I would want at launch.
I guess it really just depends on like what they want to show, because they probably didn't want to show off like maybe some bigger titles that they have in the pocket, because they may not have
during the debut of a new system's video. That is the time to show those killer apps if it's going to be a launch title.
No, it's Nintendo. Everyone knows like what their killer apps are. That's like Mario, Donkey Kong, all those games like Legend of Zelda. What I think like it was a good idea that they showed off. Hey, listen, we're working with a bunch of these third-party companies. These games are going to be now in good quality on the Switch.
Yes, but those are games that have been out for as many as several years on other platforms. So I'm like, that's not lucrative enough for me.
Yes, but some of them are also new
that
haven't come out yet, and some of them are going to be exclusively on Nintendo. So.
Yeah, but that one game that you're talking about is a next year title.
Still.
So I'm like, if you're going to show me a next year's title, show me some next year first party titles as well.
Just saying, it's fine. It's not like the biggest deal in the world. The other two consoles released with practically nothing. No, I'm sorry, not practically nothing. With nothing. My bad.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Switch also launched with nothing.
Exactly, so who cares? It really doesn't matter.
You know what had a great launch lineup? The Wii U.
Okay, and how many people bought that?
Exactly. So
it doesn't matter, Zia.
So $80 is completely justifiable for Mario Kart. I think it's really just an incentive thing for people to spend the money on the more expensive one, the more expensive SKU.
Possibly. I am hoping like their standardized pricing is probably going to lean more 70.
I mean, I think so as well. I think they're really just doing it for Mario Kart just because it sold as much as it did.
I mean, listen, the only thing is anything north of 500 is what I would consider too much for that console. Like, I know people would still buy it, but I would think anything above 500, you kind of like, come on. So
now, I do think it was smart of Nintendo to wait a month essentially to open up pre-orders in the US, because that's the thing. It's like this is the volatile part of the entire tariff thing. It's like they just rolled out. It's like the first 15 minutes of the stock market's opening up. It's like it's terrible. It's like it's all rocky and shaky. You don't know what's going on. So they're waiting out a month just to see if anyone, and if these end up dying off, then they can stick with their initial price tag. Or if things actually stick, then yeah, they will have to end up adjusting the price. If things change, especially since Vietnam specifically was just like, what about 0%? Like, what about that 0%? Then yeah, we should be good on that. But then people would go like, but Vietnam went to 0%. So shouldn't the price on the Switch 2 be lower because their base tariffs that they already had would be lower? And I'm like, it's a fool's errand. You can't tell that to a corporate company. They're gonna make their money either way. They told us 450.
I just assume that they're waiting to see how things play out before they hey, listen, we do pre-orders at this price, and it's like, fuck, we can't afford to do them at this price. It's too cheap.
But I do imagine them like freaking out on the back end.
Maybe.
Especially like they didn't say the price during the direct, which I was just like, ooh, that's weird. Yeah. But then they put out a press conference literally minutes after. Fair. And then everyone was just like, wait, what? And then only for another day to pass and them going like, hold on now, wait a second. We got to evaluate some shit. I really think that the month leading into the pre-orders reopening up into the US they're going to put all of their advertising bucks into trying to sell people on the system. So whatever price they say, it's like, no, we're selling you on this.
Yeah, they're gonna put a lot out there, so it's like whatever the price is, they're gonna make it. So you're
It's worth it.
All right, you just accept it. You don't even have to be like, no, I don't want that.
So
it's like, look, before this system even comes out, we're gonna launch an ambassador program for the first time buyers.
Question for you guys, just hypothetical. What do y'all think that GTA 6 is gonna release at price wise?
90.
100.
I'm leaning with Ash on this one. I think it's gonna be the first $100 game.
Is it only launching on consoles GTA 6?
To start out with, yeah, I believe so.
What if they launch it like GTA 6 base price and then GTA 6 plus GTA Online for like 120?
I mean, we definitely know they're gonna do the GTA Plus like bundle and shit, like they always do.
Yeah.
But I don't know what that'll be. That's probably gonna be closer to 130, 140. Heck, 150.
Even then, I still have not played a single Grand Theft Auto game, so
I played the original top down.
I've played a few. I'm not like a huge fan of GTA, and some of my friends like crucify me because of that. And it's like, listen, I think they're cool stories, but they're like a one and done thing.
I've never been in the story for a GTA game. Like I play GTA online with friends, and that's about it.
Do you just beat up hookers?
I just don't like the
there might be a compilation we can watch after the stream. I don't know if I can air it.
Oh my god, Ash.
All right.
Yeah. I don't know. I just think like the next GTA is going to be that game that's just going to come out and be outlandish in the price. And because it's been hyped up for so long, people are just going to be like, I expect this. I'm going to buy it.
I can't tell if Mark is so blitzed that he passed out on his desk, and that's why his VTuber model looked away.
I'm doing research on stuff because, like, one of my guys emailed me about getting stuff from Japan, and it
was like hyper focused. It was like, oh.
Dude, okay, so what's happening is my camera's like doing mirrored, so it's leaning me that way, but I'm actually leaning in the other direction.
Oh,
so I'm leaning away from my screen. Yeah, I'm leaning to the right, but it's showing me on the left there. So, because the camera's looking like directly at. So, no, he was just telling me, he's like, I don't think it's really going to affect anything. Like maybe some shipping costs, but he's still going to buy the stuff in the store and then just like, FedEx it to me. So,
I mean, I feel like there was no thought. Well, okay, so just to talk about the tariffs, not the gaming part. Like, I feel like there was really no thought.
You're doing your hand.
The tariff aspect of it.
What? Don't worry about it.
He's doing a lot of weird stuff with those hands, isn't he?
Should never.
I'm like the only one that's got hand tracking on tonight. So
I don't feel like turning it on right now because I have it set up so the two webcams. So I'd have to like plug in my other webcam to do it. So I get like the really detailed tracking on it. So I don't do that the whole time. Or the gang signs from before.
I don't think the US has the infrastructure to make a lot of products at home. You know what I mean?
Tariffs should be illegal. No, tariffs are technically a necessity between trade partners just so they get something in return for it. The thing is, it's just extraneous, the amount that they're doing now. Like nothing in life is free.
Yes. It's just now they're
being greedy with it.
It isn't even about the greed to get money. Like the whole point of it initially was just like, oh, let's incentivize a reason for people to make products in the US so that we have more jobs in the US. Problem is they didn't realize, or they really don't factor in that one, US doesn't have a lot of infrastructure to like make a lot of shit on their own. Like we can make wheat, I think, like a lot of wheat, but that's about it. The other thing is, stuff made in America is not like other nations already know they have their they're known for their shit already. So it's like products that we make would only be like good in the US and decent at best. Like it wouldn't be good for global shipping.
Okay, I don't know if I can show that compilation anymore because I just found out that he privated it and now I'm grilling him for privating it.
Oh my god! What did you do for it? Like,
must have been really bad.
I might have an idea why he privated it, but I can't say it on stream.
Is it swearing? How many
What
times?
was
No.
it? Was there certain chat speak?
Oh no, if that chat speak was out there, I'd be on the chopping block in the Toku community like you. That was
Wait, what
Oh god.
Sorry.
I don't know, Mark. For a second, it looked like you were eating the chat. Oh, it still looks like you're eating the chat.
All right, Zio, what are we at threshold wise?
We're like 15 minutes before the 3-hour mark, but you know, we ain't got that much anyway.
All right. I'm just curious because like, does anyone have anything they want to bring up? I assume Mark?
The main thing, like I said, because we kind of glossed over it because we talked about the Switch so much. Like, I'm just curious, especially like, so as you know, Bandai, they were releasing some Kamen Rider stuff. Like right now, you can get, you know, the Gabu driver, the Valent, like all that stuff, and the Gotchard stuff on there. I'm curious, just from like tying into the whole Kamen Rider global stuff. It's like, well, if they did want to restructure and have, you know, Kamen Rider stuff available on Amazon US, that's good. Like this, the tariff thing is like the domino effect. That's going to affect that, and that's going to suck. Because I'm looking at like a lot of, you know, companies have for the last 24 hours have been putting out a lot of, you know, social media, like official statements on pricing and everything else. And I feel like this is also going to make scalping even worse for a lot of things. What you doing that Tiga sword?
Nothing. What you talking about?
Sir, this is a Wendy's. Behave.
I heard the price of guac went up, so I was like, let me
Oh my god. But yeah, no, I'm just curious, like the next 90 days is when like everything's gonna be very unsure and very hectic. Like for right now, because there's some CSM stuff coming out, there's some other stuff, and I'm like, well, what are we gonna do about that? Because and also, like, I don't know if tariffs affect if we buy stuff like on Bai through Mercari. Like, I don't know, because that's already stuff already listed on there. So I don't know how bad this is going to get from a Toku toy standpoint to keep everything tied into, like, you know, Toku.
Mm-hmm.
Why I got a long ass neck like a fucking goddamn Brad Rogers?
Yeah, it keeps going like,
like fucking long neck.
So I'm glad I've got the MMPR thing on because my neck doesn't look too long.
It does.
Yeah, I've been looking at places like Bai just to see if they had put out anything. They haven't put out anything yet. So I'm guessing they really are just like still in the assessment phase because it's too early. Probably by the time we do the stream next week, we'll probably get much more details to the point that we can actually put a price tag to things.
You're not really buying new stuff. You're buying used stuff like through Mercari and this and that. And I feel like that shouldn't be drastically affected. I think shipping will be affected probably because honestly, right now, like the one thing I'm trying to hunt down, I'm trying to get another Soto Kamen Rider Valen because I need 2 of them and I got 1. And I'm sorry, motherfuckers are putting them on there for $31, but it's been like that for the last month. And I'm like, I'm not paying $30 for 1 Soto. I get the whole set for $44. Like, it's stupid, but I'm gonna add to cart.
Okay.
Alrighty.
I need it. I'm sorry, I can't find it. Like, there's one for 35. Like, and even Bandai, they've said like they've been for their candy toys, like I think their Super Shotos and the mini plow stuff's gonna suffer because they even said the cost of like to make these now and get parts is like but they were gonna start doing US release stuff because you know they restructured that whole premium Bandai website last year. And we still haven't seen anything from that. Was it the Nishikiri world that they launched everything for? We really haven't had any updates on that since their press release about it. And now I'm just like, because Subaru and Bandai had to deal with Target where they were going to start putting more Ultraman stuff on the shelves and other stuff in that medium. So I'm just like, all these things we had press releases for that we've talked about on here towards the end of last year for stuff that was going to start this year. And now it's like we're 3 full months in. And I'm like, how much of that stuff now is like going to have to be restructured or some of it may even be canceled. And it'll affect anime too. Cause let's face it, anime is very popular here, but all them statues ain't made here.
Mm-hmm.
Them waifu statues ain't made here. See, Cloudy left because
Yeah,
he's like,
he
waifu
left.
statues are in danger. He's like, no,
I guess to protect them.
because he like, no, you don't understand. Me and Cloudy, we sent links to each other of some like really expensive like anime statues, and I'm like, oh, and now I'm thinking like, man,
So-
we're gonna add 20-30%.
Well, so I was looking at the tariff count before all these went in place, because the last time that we had tariff changes was 2021, and for Japan in particular, base tariff was only 1.84%, and import tariff on imports was only 0.76%. So that's the life we've been living
Yeah,
through now, has been a 1.76% tariff rate on imports and 1.84% on regular goods. So yeah, the amount of money that they're about to charge on this shit is substantially high.
yeah, it's cool. I fixed it. Yeah, that's like, I don't know. I'm keeping a close eye on it just from the standpoint of like, I mean, you look at my channel, what's the main thing I talk about besides like the episode reviews is all the toys and the candy toys and this and that. So it's like I've been keeping the last 48 hours very close eye on everything, because I may have to restructure what I cover more of, because I ain't gonna the tariffs fuck it up. I'm like, all right, gonna start
And
talking
even looking
about
at
manga again.
Even looking at Vietnam, what they were before the shit went in place was 1.17%.
Mm-hmm.
We went from 1.17% to 46%.
Yeah.
Stay mad, y'all.
GG's on that. GG's on that.
It's just how things go. I mean, there's some other numbers in here I don't want to talk about on stream because it's like stupid.
Yeah.
And there's still some bending the knee to some of these other places. So they weren't on that big list. So anyway, since Cloudy went ahead and dipped, Mark, what you got to promote?
Yeah. Candy toy stuff. Since we're doing VTuber models, you guys can't see it. I did get a box in the mail from Japan yesterday, oddly enough, to celebrate the tariffs. I did get the next Gavu Soto set, which comes with like the frappe form, Ram's jelly custom, and then was it Blizzard sorbet and stuff like that. So I will be working on that this week. I have other stuff on the way, like duplicates of like Gavu's base form and Valen's base form, so I can like make the other forms. Because they did like with Commander Zeo, where it was like you need a base form, and then they just released a bunch of armor pieces to make the other forms, which is stupid. So I had to buy a whole bunch of base forms to get them, and that's really it. Nothing. I'm kind of starved for some youre like toys, but the mini Pla Tiga sword doesn't come out until like April 28th, and I guess the Yudos aren't even going to come out till June. So I'm like, this is a long gap without any real like Super Sentai stuff coming out. Well, so it's kind of weird right now because the show's really good, but other than the rings and like the really weird action figure stuff they're releasing, like the candy toys are like non-existent for like basically another month or two.
It's weird because it's similar with like Gavu as well, like where the show's performing well, but the toys just
oh my god, they're not releasing like other than the gimmicks. They're over like Gavu's issue is they're oversaturating it because they're doing like the glitter clear Gochizos, then they're doing the blind bag ones where you can get like a chase variant where it's like crying or a different facial expression on them. So they're releasing all of these gimmicks like crazy, and they have the candy toy ones, the DX ones, and then they have Gashapon versions as well. They're releasing too many types of the gimmicks, expecting everyone to collect them all. But I don't see anyone really showing off their collections. Like, I don't think it's working out because they're not releasing figures. Like, we're going to probably get SH figure arts before we get like anything else now, because they just announced Bitter Gavu was getting SH figure art. And the candy toys were 28 almost 29 episodes in, and we've only had 3 waves, Whereas, like I said in the past, up until Geats, Revice, Saber, 01, we had a whole set of 11 figures, usually, or like 12 boxes, so 6 figures every month, like clockwork. We had one every month, so we had 11 waves every season. And then when the new show starts, it would be half of the new show. The other half would be rounding out the rest of the previous show. Ever since Geats, they've kind of thrown it all out the door, where Gotchard, we only got half the forms. Geats, because of all the arm, like how everything was kind of the same with the raised buckles, so they were just like, oh, buy dupes until you have everyone with their entry forms. But I don't know what Bandai's doing right now, because
that does seem a little odd,
that,
especially on the Bandai front.
So the quarterlies, when we go over those numbers again, because a new quarter just started, and this quarter, I don't know how it's gonna be, because it's already looking kind of it'll be good for Super Sentai because all the Goes User stuff's finally coming out, but Gavu, I'm like, unless they have something really good in the fire cooking right now, I think we're gonna see a bigger dip off than we did with Geats and Gotchard.
And I mean, even from like a Gunpla perspective for Bandai, their output has definitely been diminished a lot recently, because it's been a lot of re-releases of essentially molds that they've already had, just in different colorations, but the newness of it is there's not much.
I noticed they're kind of pushing metal builds a lot lately, but also from a non-Gundam standpoint, the amount of, like, now that they're doing all the Yu-Gi-Oh monsters as the figurized standards, and they just pushed out more. So they have Yu-Gi-Oh, which just got a lot of them. Digimon is getting a whole nother slate of them. They just did Pyodramon, which I need to pick up to go with my Imperial Dramon. They're going for more anime stuff. Like, they've been putting out all the shifts from One Piece like crazy, and now they're doing like high grade, master grade, entry grade. They're pumping out like all the anime and gaming properties more than Gundam right now, because I live near the official flagship like Bandai Gunpla store, and I go in there. Gundam, they have their little section, then they have like a whole wall of nano blocks, and then it's literally just anime IP mini like model kits. There's less Gundam there at the gun, and there's a freaking RX-78 like 10-foot statue right when you walk in, and there's less Gundam than there is anything else there now.
It's like GameStop, where they have less games than they have Funko Pops.
They got more Funko Pops and clearance 50% off action figures. So yeah, I don't know, like, I'm gonna be working on some videos just going over like the whole tariffs and toy stuff, but like the last couple months in general has just been really weird from a Bandai standpoint of like their releases. And and every time you see like their posts, they always talk about the rising cost to make everything for parts. But I'm like, yeah, but 3 or 4 months without releasing something for like one, like Kamen Rider, which is a big IP for Toei, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, we'll see how things settle in the coming weeks. So
I'm curious.
Ash, what you got to promote?
What have I got to promote? Let me pull up my YouTube studio. So I've just got comic reviews, Gojuju reviews coming out. I am working on stuff in the background. I need to record a video I scripted a while ago, but then Kyle was kind enough to send me like Rogue Sun and Radiant Black issue 32, so I can get them done in advance once I read them. Really good issues. I can't go into spoilers because they're a month away from now. But go read the Massiveverse stuff. Go read Massiveverse. I'll say this always. Go read Massiveverse. Indeed.
So you're gonna do your Goes User review with that VTuber model? I mean, it would be right in theme.
It might. I'm still
it would be right in theme.
I'm stealing that idea.
If you could get like a cape attachment to it, give them that mysterious
put
look.
Cloak on it. And you said you don't like doing like, you're getting used to putting yourself on video, but this is a lot easier. You could just be like,
exactly.
Hey. Everyone loves VTuber these days. I just gotta get.
Apparently so. I mean, we stayed at a consistent like high amount for a while with this stream, which I was like, wow, for these, really? Okay, I guess
I can be a based VTuber like Pippa.
I don't know who that is.
I don't know either.
I'll send you clips. We are sending clips. I'm sending you the best Pippa clip at the end of this stream.
What the fuck's a Pippa?
You
pig?
were watching it. No.
Oh, it's not Peppa Pig? Okay.
Oh, there's a Pepper. I'm like, yo, I could go for a Dr. Pepper.
I don't fuck with Dr. Not regular flavored Dr. Pepper, at least.
Has to be the zero sugar berries, strawberries and cream.
Yeah, strawberries with the coconut. Well, the coconut one got discontinued, so sad. Sad. All right. I've got nothing really to promote. Just note that I am indeed working on content. Just so you guys understand that I am indeed working on shit. I will show you a little bit. I'm not going to play the audio of it because it hasn't been tested through the YouTube algorithms yet to know if it's going to get claimed, because I recently got claimed on like a 2-year-old video for audio. So just a little tiny samplet here of what's been working on, and yeah, like that kind of shit takes work to do that kind of shit. And yes, Dino Decade will definitely make an appearance in the next Goes Use Your video.
Oh, really? So, okay. Fillion's hilarious, so Pippa's probably going to be just as funny then.
Yeah.
So yes, a lot of work being spent on that. That took pretty much the entire day just to put together. But of course, that's only like 5 seconds out of a 41-second thing that took forever to put together. You gotta realize the amount of layers, and trying to copy something frame by frame and make it work to look legit. So yeah. All right, that's it, y'all. We're back to not being in VTuber models next week. Maybe Ash will probably pop up if that's ends up being his new persona. It's just
maybe
this guy.
We'll
I kind of like this. I don't have to wear pants, so I don't have to wear pants. Like, so I might just keep doing those.
I swear, if it's just me and VTubers, this thing's canceled. 100 was the last one. We peaked, and we're done.
I can't take you seriously with the hands motion. So
we peaked. We just peaked. We're raising the roof. No one else is raising the roof, like, or y'all trying to raise the roof?
Arms,
no, mine has no arms.
Hey, can y'all pay for the expansion pass? Can y'all pay for that? Like,
you don't even need to pay for that. There's a way to do it without it. There's actually a free version of it.
Look, I'm playing the piano in the sky.
Oh, is that what they call it nowadays?
Look into that.
So you're a skilled pianist?
Yes. Look, I can find the man on the boat from up here.
I'm not saying nothing.
All right. We'll see if the stream keeps going after I press this end stream button, like last time. But otherwise, we're out of here until next week.
Time.
Bye. Bye.